Good evening, good evening, good evening. Y'all come on up in here. Come on up in here. It is Tuesday. We are at July 4th Eve. And of course, we are still about a month and 3/4 away from football. But as usual and per usual, everybody wants to come and give their opinion, their expert opinion about any and everything.
It's just opinion. That's all it is. It's just opinion. It's just opinion. That's all it is. It's just opinion.
It's an opinion. Everybody can have one, right? Why can't I have a little bit of wine? What? I might go get me a glass. That sounds real nice. Wine down Tuesday, a glass of wine and some good old tea. Before we get started, I'm going to let a couple more people come in here. I wanted to highlight a couple of things that's been in the news recently. I don't have my slides today. I don't have them. I've been working diligently, but what I do have is just, a couple of things to look out for that's coming up or that has transpired. If anybody has some news that they want to talk about real quick, you could just drop it in the chat. So the first thing that I wanted to talk about was we have a couple of HBCU graduates or students that basically competed at the Olympic trials this past week. And they basically qualified. So one of them is Caleb Snowden. Now, he did get second at the U.S. Olympic trials, but I'm trying to see if they're going to allow him to go because he has to get the Olympic standard. I'm going to go ahead and pull up this particular clip with him in it, basically showing when he cleared to get in second place. But he has not cleared. Thank you, Miss Wajil. It better not have a dang screw top. Now, listen. Screw top wine, they got me. Wait until I get a hold to the Minute Maid one. I haven't been able to find it. But when I find that Minute Maid wine that they have, or it's not Minute Maid wine, I want to say it's kind of like spiked Minute Maid.
The qualifying with a mark of 2:19.7.
So this is Caleb Snowden. He is a current student for the UAPB Lions, right? Shout out to UAPB. All right. So sometimes you can focus on Olympic sports as well. So this was his final jump at the Olympic trials. And I'm going to go ahead and play that for you guys. There you go. I'm making sure you can see it. And y'all already started missing that chat. All right, let me go ahead.
He was eighth in the qualifying with a mark of 2:19.7, 2 1/4. This would be certainly his first Olympic team, and he's over. Caleb Snowden That'll be a lifetime best for him, 7.5 1/4. He steps up at the right time. He was 8th in the qualifying with a mark of 2:19.72 1/4. This would be certainly his first Olympic team, and he's over. Caleb Snowden.
So congratulations, Caleb Snowden. Now, he does have to, the one thing that is up in the air is whether or not, even though he placed second in the Olympic trials, he does have to wait to get a call, and he doesn't automatically qualify. And that's because no one hit the Olympic standard at the Olympic trials. And so in order for you to actually get the go ahead, you're supposed to have to hit a certain number. So I'm going to read this article posted by Neil Zaringi, and it just says UAPB high jumper Caleb Snowden finishes second at U.S. Olympic trials. He's waiting on a final call for Paris. He proved he was only second to one in all of America. Caleb Snowden finished with the silver medal in the men's high jump, and he's still waiting to hear if he's earned an invitation to compete in Paris. The 6'6" student jumped his personal best in competition, 2.27 meters or 7'5.5", leaving a statement that he can perform at the highest level in Paris. Sorry, y'all. So hopefully I do make the team and I'm able to show that. Making the U.S. Olympic team takes more than the silver medal at the trials, according to Snowden's coach, Natoya Davidson. With not enough athletes reaching the Olympic standard of 7'7" 3/4", the world ranking comes into play. But Snowden said those are confusing. A lot of people who are above Caleb right now haven't even jumped higher than Caleb, Davidson said. They've been better at meets, better competition. Snowden said he's trying not to keep his hopes too high, but he can't deny how much he wants to make the team. He has to work extra hard because UAPB doesn't have a track on campus. Wow, I did not know that. Instead, he goes to a local high school to practice his sport. Snowden is also the first high jumper from a historically Black college or university to secure a top 3 position in both the NCAA indoor and outdoor championships in the same year, according to UAPB. It doesn't really matter where you're at. Just make sure if you put the work in and you stay consistent, Snowden said, you can pretty much do anything and the sky is the limit. I did not know that UAPB doesn't have those types of facilities, because all of their facilities are nice and upgraded. So I'm surprised to learn that UAPB does not have those facilities. Wow. All right. We have a couple more that made it. There was a Johnson C. Smith. Let me see if I can get this one. Johnson C. Smith. I think she qualified, but she qualified, I want to say, for Jamaica. If I remember what I was reading correctly. Let me see her particular name. But that's great, right? So it's Johnson C. Smith University alum and world champion Danielle Williams is headed to Paris to compete in her first Olympic Games. She is not competing as an American, though. I want to say she's competing for Jamaica. And prayers to Jamaica and any other islands that are in the path of the hurricane that is coming through at a category 4, or I think it's up to a category 5, but prayers to them. And hopefully it will change directions. But yes, her name is Danielle Williams, and she is headed to the Olympic Games. So that's great, right? We have, imagine not having, now that's a story, right? You don't even have the facilities at your HBCU. So that's going to be Hurricane Beryl. Yes, that's right. That's something that they might have to think about investing in, right? So yes, Hurricane Beryl. I don't even know if I'm pronouncing it correctly. All right. My moderators in the chat, I want to just have a quick talk right now. Willie Bolden, do you know the number of students that actually get to the next level? It's like a small percentage. Prayers to the entire CARICOM. Yes. That is not why. We have several students that were able to compete at a high level. And he's showing you that. Now, an investment in those facilities would definitely increase the amount of student athletes that go there to compete. I've seen students who went to the USA Nationals last year at Jackson State, and then I didn't necessarily hear their name this year, and they went to a PWI. So it really, don't count out HBCUs. It's basically what I'm saying. Okay. Now, I wanted to, I had a chance to visit someone else's chat last week, and I wanted to basically say this. Disrespect is not the same as difference of opinion. So over here, y'all can have a difference of opinion. Y'all can trade jabs back and forth. As long as they're not personal, you're not going to get blocked. Now, when you start, going a little bit off into the deep end, then you might get sat down in timeout. But over here in our chat, I feel like my moderators do a really good job of, not necessarily policing the chat, but just making sure it's respectful. As long as it's respectful, we can all trade whatever we want to. If I say that my quarterback's the best and your quarterback's not, we're not going to have to put anybody in timeout. And so that's what I experienced last week. It was a difference of opinion. And actually, my opinion was the same as other people's opinions, right? But for some reason, I was the one that was sat down in timeout, and just for people who aren't necessarily, I'm not going to say podcasters, but the way YouTube works, the more the merrier. Even if you don't agree, even if you don't too much, the more eyes that's on the channel, the better. That means that people are watching your content, which cycles it through the algorithm. If you want to have a come to me private party, y'all schedule a group meet or a private Zoom link. Otherwise, any and everybody is going to be on your channel. Okay. All right. Let's get it started. Let's get it started in here. Yes, we're giving out opinions. Hey, Doc. Hey. Okay, so y'all name some quarterbacks in the chat. I need four quarterbacks because that's how many. We're going to do a collective You know, we're going to do something collective. That way we get everybody's opinions. So y'all name 4 quarterbacks in the SWAC, and that's what we're going to do our poll based off of. The 4 that you name in the next minute and a half, right? The next minute and a half. So go ahead and drop your quarterback. Make sure you put the school beside it, you know. Okay. You know Jay White. Jay White is on it. All right. I already got my 4. Jacobian Morgan, Avion Smith, Noah Bodden, Andrew Body. Listen, I'm gonna have to put some censor on Larry's his video from when he was at Southern cutting up. Them people in terms of sudden. All right. So our top 4, I got it, y'all. I got it. So I'm getting ready to go ahead and type it in. And this is not what SheLovesThee wants. This is what the chat wants. All right. Oh Lord. All right. So this is our preseason quarterback poll. We got Jacobian Morgan, and this is in no particular order, right? Jacobian Morgan of Jackson State. Myles Crawley. I heard Noah Bodden. Myles Crawley of Grambling. Myles Crawley is also, is it being messy if I say Myles Crawley of Alabama State, like naming all the different schools that they came from? Because when you look at the totality of how we're ranking these quarterbacks, right, you're going to look at what school they came from. You're not just going to look at what he did at Grambling State, right? You're going to look at what he did at his other schools too. So I'm going to include that and it's going to be for the SWAC schools, right? So I'm doing Jacobian Morgan, Myles Crawley. He was at Alabama State and Grambling State. We got Andrew Body. He's currently at Alabama State, but he's hailing from Texas Southern. And then, what have you done for me lately? I heard that. See, and Avion Smith, AAMU, Miami, Ohio. Look at Jay White naming Avion Smith. Avion Smith. Blue said it's only 3. Stop playing. He said stop playing. Stop doing all the extra. It's only 3. Grambling. Dear Grambling. Oh, somebody said who? Well, Paris, Mr. Jay White was the first one to get it through. So, see, I'm not being biased, y'all. I'm not being biased. There we go. I put him out there. Go ahead and vote. Oh, I forgot Noah Bodden. Dang. We can talk about all of the quarterbacks, because you know what I'm about to do? I'm going to pull up stats, since folks think that I just be talking out the side of my neck, which when it comes to like talking mess, I'm going to talk out the side of my neck. But if we're going to talk facts, chat saying it. So, folks, when y'all go back to y'all little and go do your little chat, don't say SheLovesThee said such and such was this, that, and third. I didn't say it. Now, if I put up a comment from these comments in here, that wasn't me. Okay? It wasn't me. You can't blame it on me. All right. So now I'm going to just tell you right now, I'm not trying to be funny. Here is my rankings. I got. God saw beginnings and knows ends. You didn't put their name in the chat. Dang. You should have got here earlier. And guess what? We can do all of the different quarterbacks because we can look at their stats, but you didn't get here early enough. So if you didn't get here to put your bid in, I don't even think I spelled Noah's last name right. So excuse me. All right. And I ain't spelled Langford name right either. Let me delete that. Okay, so first of all, I got Crawley first. Okay? I'm sorry. I have Myles Crawley first. I'm gonna pull up his stats for y'all. So let's make this a group thing. What are things that you're going to look at when you look at why a quarterback is the best? You're going to look at efficiency, right? Passing efficiency, touchdowns. You're definitely going to look at their ratio of interceptions to touchdowns, right? So we're looking at passing efficiency, how many touchdowns they got, their interceptions to touchdowns ratio. And why are y'all talking so much mess in the chat? I didn't say none of this stuff. And let me see. So a lot of people put emphasis on rushing, right? Me personally, now G-Boom, that is not a statistic that they utilize at any level. G-Boom. That's not one of them that they utilize. They don't use those. We look at statistics. Lord have mercy. I'm rolling with Myles Crawley for number one. And I'm going to make my case. All right? Rushing should be included. Okay, so Israel Carey says rushing should be included. So we'll look at rushing. Y'all know Black folks love a good old dual threat quarterback. Dual threat quarterbacks do not last that long in the NFL, but we'll go ahead with rushing. Nobody put Chase Wilson, Mr. No Slack in the SWAC. You was not here. You supposed to put him in the mix. You should have said something. We can look at Chase, but you didn't say nothing. This is a group effort, okay? This is what we call group think. And I love group think, right? Because you can't say, oh, you being biased. How are we being biased? All right. So this is Myles Crawley. If you don't think I'm right, then you need to tell me. Come up here and tell me why am I wrong, okay? All right. So Myles Crawley, by far, regardless of what you guys agree with, who you want to say is the best or not the best, he's going to be the front runner. Why? Because he played the most games And, well, no SWAC in the SWAC. Can't be late now. We took a group think. Velocity, timing, and passing stats. I heard that. See? We over here looking at stats. We looking at the facts. Hey, Doc. Dooley's looking to replace him. Whoa. That's because Dooley likes a certain type of quarterback and Crawley doesn't match what he's looking for. But that's why I said when it comes to offensive coordinators, don't try to make a quarterback something that they're not. Embrace what they are and play into that. Meaning, if you know that your quarterback has a pair of bricks for his feet, Jason Brown, but he's good at passing, you know, he just can't scram out the pocket. Why are you setting up these types of plays for him? Come on. Don't do that. Please do not. If it's one thing that I learned last year, it's don't, and that's just looking at a quarterback that, you know, could have been more efficient, had made a lot of mistakes, and then the offensive coordinator wasn't doing him no favors. Like, I don't know. If y'all watch that Texas State game, we scored the most points on Texas State than a lot of people that they went up against, right? But, you know, when you're an offensive coordinator and you're trying to make fetch work and it's not happening, you're going to cause turnovers, fumbles, interceptions. So basically what I'm saying is what you are working with right now, Myles Crawley is decent. So he's 6'3", 205 pounds. He's from Lithonia, Georgia. Last season, he had 2,312 yards, 16 touchdowns, and 8 interceptions. So if we're looking at his completion percentage from 2023, he passed at 60.1 completion percentages, right? So he averaged 7 yards. His longest was 67. He did have 8 interceptions. He is the front runner for the SWAC, and that's just because, you know, out of all of the quarterbacks, he's the one that had the most consistency and playing time. And you know what's crazy? I mean, can somebody please explain it to me exactly? What was it for Grambling? Was it their defense? I want to know. He was, for his percentages, like versus Southern, 63.3%, versus UAPB, 64.3%, versus Alabama State, and they still lost 67.7%. I think he had a lot of dink and dunk type of passing that was going on. But them last 3 games, he was cooking. And it looks like he took some sacks and had a couple interceptions. So maybe it was his offensive line that had something to do with it. But it looks like the defense weren't showing up, and this young man was showing up, okay? And for some reason, wasn't able to get it done. And Doc, you just let me know when I need to add you in the private chat. It's exactly 2 people in this chat need to go. Need to go where? He isn't going against these teams coming for him. Okay. So when I look at who has the overall stats and who should be number 1, just based off of their performance last year, that was their passing. Let's look at their rushing. So rushing was not too good. Yeah. he wasn't doing. He's not necessarily a rushing type of quarterback. So he had 33 carries and negative 70 yards for rushing. So in other words, Myles Crawley is not necessarily what you would call a dual threat quarterback. Oh, well, I can't see Crook. I haven't been able to, I don't even know when Crook's in the chat. I don't even know it. And I don't know if you guys, if I have that zoomed in wide enough for you to see, but you see this negative 70 over here? He had 33 carries for negative 70 yards. So in other words, when he really got slammed versus Bethune-Cookman, even though they won that game, he had negative 41 yards for that game. He averaged negative 8.2 yards per carry at Bethune or versus Bethune-Cookman. See, Bethune-Cookman defense ain't no joke. But so what does that say? So what that basically says is for Mr. Myles Crawley, and there's nothing wrong with not being a dual threat quarterback. That's not an end all be all. You don't have to be a dual threat quarterback in order to win the SWAC. Why do I know that? Who just won the SWAC and was not necessarily a dual threat quarterback? You can't put too much emphasis on it. But since you know that Myles Crawley is not a dual threat quarterback, the types of plays that you need to mark up for him, he needs to be utilizing his tight ends a little bit more, right? And I'll say this, don't try to make people something that they're not. Don't try to make something. If you want them to succeed, then stop trying to make them something that they're not, which there's nothing wrong with that. Okay? All right. Next up, let's do Noah. Let's do Noah. Okay. They need to get a better O-line. What does it need to be? Well, being that he was negative 70, he don't need to be trying to run nowhere. Run to the huddle and get a passing play. All right. He's good at passing. Efficient. All right, let's go to Sutton. Well,
sorry about that. I had technical difficulties.
That's okay. Welcome. So I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I promise you I'm not. We ain't gonna be on this for too long because there's not really much to necessarily unless they didn't update it or somebody in the chat said Noah Bodden, right? They wanted to go over and say that he's a top contender for this year. He's 6'4", 218 pounds. He originates from Valley Stream, New York. He had 376 yards last year, 1 touchdown and 2 interceptions.
You thought about Noah Bodden?
I'm trying to go off of last year's stats. So
I want you to rank at the bottom.
I don't want to necessarily rank him at the bottom. He's just not going to be in the conversation for necessarily the top, and it's not because of anything other than he hasn't had enough playing time? I mean, he did good versus Grambling. Okay, what do we know about, and let's just talk about the dynamics a little bit about Southern, right? Let's talk about Southern. So Dooley had in his mind the quarterback that he wanted to play, right? Isn't this the second time that he's done that? I remember when Dooley was playing against Jackson State at Prairie View in the SWAC championship, and he refused to switch out the quarterback.
Yeah, Juwan passed. He switched him out for Trayvon Conley later on in the game.
Uh-oh. So anyway, my point is this. For Noah Bodden, the reason why, if you're going to put him in a ranking, there's 12 positions, right? So Noah did not get enough playing time. But what I will say is I'm looking at his stats. He played good against Grambling, I guess. He was 13 of 26, 50% completion point. He had 1 touchdown and 1 interception.
That was personal, though.
That was what?
That was more personal.
What was more personal?
When him playing against Grambling.
Why was it so personal?
Because he started at Grambling.
Lord. 1 touchdown, 1 interception. So remember when I was talking about when we're ranking these particular quarterbacks, what are we basing it off of? And one of the things that we talked about was the ratio between touchdowns and interceptions. So Noah Bodden had 1 touchdown last season and 2 interceptions. And he didn't get the playing time that he probably should have. So for this particular season, if Noah Bodden is the quarterback, then what are you looking to see from him, Doc?
Try not to turn the ball over and
Okay.
Be patient as far as throwing the ball down the field.
There you have it. All right. Let me go ahead and go to Jacobian Morgan. He played in 6 games. Completed 83 of 123 passes for 842 yards. Let's go ahead and look at Jacobian Morgan, all right? Now, he's 6'4", 227 pounds, from Canton, Mississippi. He's from the SIP. Now, let's look. Mind you, Jacobian Morgan did not play full games until, when was that he started playing full? He only played like, 3 games full? No.
He played 5 games.
No, I'm talking about full, like the whole game doesn't start.
He played 4 full games.
All right, so he has 847 yards, 10 touchdowns, and 1 interception. Now,
which was questionable.
What you mean questionable?
That 1 interception. It wasn't no interception.
All right. So let's look at his stats. 83 for 123. His completion percentage is 67.5%. 847 yards. He averaged 6.9 yards. He had 10 touchdowns, 1 interception. His longest was 70. Right? RTG 150.5. The previous year that he actually played, he didn't even play in 2022. He played in 2021, 1 for 1 and out. And then in 2020 is where he was playing at Syracuse, I believe. 31 for 49, 63.3 completion percentage, 285 yards. He had 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, and his longest throw was 31 yards. So, when I look at his body of work and I look at his completion percentage, it looks pretty good, right? 68.8% versus Alcorn in that loss. I want to say that's when he had a shoulder. Something happened with his shoulder. Versus Texas Southern, 73.5%. Versus UAPB, 72.2%. Versus Valley, 55.6%. Boy, Valley wasn't playing no games. That score that you see, 21-6, that score is not indicative of how Valley was playing at home, which is why I say that, that's one of those games where you got to keep your head on the swivel when it comes to Valley. And they getting new turf too. Oh, yeah. Versus all Alabama State. Lord, this hurt my heart, right?
That was a that was his worst game right there.
That was the Cam Newton play, right?
Yeah.
I wouldn't say when I look at Alabama State and I think about who we're gonna blame those losses on, you're saying that it wasn't his worst game because he didn't really play that much. They put him in after folks was like, bruh, if you don't take this quarterback out of the game,
Mm-hmm.
beep, 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 all kind of beep, you have to censor that.
It was
I'll say this, which I mean, look, we had some self-inflicted wounds where there was some folks that should have been sat down and they were allowed to continue to play. That's neither here nor there. Neither here nor there, right?
Right.
All right. That hurt my heart to the core, right? Because that was a winnable game.
But see, that Valley game, Valley makes anybody look like that. They muck the game up to where you don't look good. You know what I'm saying? You're not flashy.
Baby, when Valley is playing in Itabena, like I said, it's gonna be head on the swivel for a lot of folks because they do not play light, and folks are just thinking you're gonna go in there and get a win, and it doesn't work like that. They always play hard. So the 21-6, that was the final, but they were playing really hard. How you doing, Mr. Ford?
Hey, how you doing? Can you hear me?
I know we lost Mr. Ford, did we? The Braves.
It's still on. It's 4-3 in the 8th.
Oh, okay. We still down?
Yeah, it's 4-3 Giants.
Mm.
So, Mr. Ford, thank you for joining the panel. Today, we are ranking quarterbacks.
Yeah, I heard. Yeah.
Preseason. And, everybody wants to hear from you because you just keep it a buck, right? You're going to keep it 100.
Okay.
So we missed your commentary on Myles Crawley. I'm just going to read to you his stats, and then you tell me what you think about Myles Crawley. Myles Crawley threw for 2,312 yards, 16 touchdowns, and 8 interceptions. His completion percentage for the year was, I want to say 60%. Let me see. It was like 60% for his completion rate for the year. We're ranking based off of how well they are with their completion, their touchdown to interception ratio, and we'll take into account some of the things that are happening. So, for instance, whether or not the coach was utilizing them correctly. So what do you think about Myles Crawley, Mr. Ford?
Okay, now the word I'm getting is that there's going to be a quarterback battle. He has not won the job. I had a chance to see films on the young man from Ole Miss. He can play. All right, I haven't been able to come up with the video on the kid from Jacksonville State yet. But in the past, I've liked some things about Crawley. Now, let me just tell you this about quarterbacks. And these are some unknown things about quarterback. Number one, your offensive line has to be pretty good at pass blocking. But the essential part of that offensive line is that you have to have two really good pass blocking tackles. Most people don't think about tackles when they think about the air game and quarterback production. But if you don't have two good tackles, you're not going to do very well because them defensive ends are going to eat your behind up. The other thing that very few people take in consideration is who is the quarterback coach / offensive coordinator. That's the first thing I look at. And that's why I'm saying this year, I think it's going to be the year of newcomers, people that don't even have SWAC stats. I think it's going to be some people that's going to come at that quarterback position in the SWAC, and they're going to shock the world. Now, as far as Myles Crawley, he's a veteran. I think that he can lead Grambling, but I'm going to tell you right now, he's in for a fight. He's in for a fight because the word is they have not given him that position. And like I said, now, I don't know about the kid from Jacksonville. I saw the kid from Biloxi that was at Ole Miss. That kid can play. So,
Mr. Ford, do you think that Dooley's style of play when we look at quarterbacks and what type of quarterback that he looks for, do you think that Myles Crawley fits that? And if he doesn't fit that and he still wins the quarterback battle, do you think that Dooley will build his offense surrounding Myles Crawley instead of trying to make him something that he's not?
Well, you kind of answered it earlier when you said we as Negroes, coloreds, or whatever you want to call us this week, we like
Negroes are coloreds.
Whatever we love dual threat quarterbacks, and you are absolutely correct because we do. I love them myself. You know, I was the biggest Michael Vick, Lamar Jackson. Them my boys. Now I love dual threat. Yeah, but I'm gonna tell you, he's going to thrive under Dooley's system. Dooley's system is very quarterback friendly. You can be just a drop back passer. You can be dual threat. Most quarterbacks are going to like Dooley because Dooley allows you to improvise. And what I mean by that, when the play breaks down, he lets you do your thing. Okay? And so I think he'll thrive I know that young man from Ole Miss is going to thrive under Dooley.
Well,
but I think that Crawley will too.
Crawley, when we're looking at his stats, he's -70 for rushing. So we were explaining that maybe he's not a dual threat quarterback, but they also
No, I don't think he is either. I don't think he's dual threat. Yeah, he's a pocket passer.
They also highlighted the offensive line, not, him backing up out the pocket to throw.
Right.
And, losing yardage. But then, so for me, I have Myles Crawley because we're on our rankings, we're only doing quarterbacks that we can see in the SWAC. I'm not giving any type of preseason nod to anyone who they haven't necessarily shown their face in the SWAC, even though they could have came from Alabama. So for me, I have Myles Crawley as my number one for the SWAC. Noah Bodden, Mr. Ford, real quick so that we can catch you up. Noah Bodden, he threw for 376 yards. He had 1 touchdown and 2 interceptions. One of the things that Dooley did last year was he did kind of hone in on his quarterback, and he was making him, the face of that Southern offense. So Noah Bodden didn't necessarily get that many chances to show what he has. What do you think about Noah?
I think with the right coaching, He has Willie Totten on that staff. He has Fred McNair on that staff. 2 former SWAC quarterbacks. Willie Totten is all over the NCAA record book. I think the sky's the limit. Now, I've never been impressed with what's the offense. He came from Prairie View. What's his name? What's the offense coordinator's name? The doc at Southern now. Is it Mark Frederick?
I think so.
I've never been impressed with him. I always thought Mark was a good running back coach, good recruiting coordinator. Never had no respect for him as an offense coordinator. But on top of that, he has Willie Totten with him. He has Fred McNair with him. So if he'll listen to them, I think the sky's the limit for Noah Biden. And by the way, how many years of eligibility does he have left?
And by the way,
he got 1 left because he came in doing 21.
Okay.
So he came in during 21. And
do you believe that Totten is a good quarterback coach? That's a good question.
Oh yeah. And so is Fred. They were, yeah. Oh, you know them good quarterbacks that came through Alcorn under Fred? Oh yeah.
All right. So I gotta go get me a glass of wine. Okay, Mr. Ford. Last but not least, and then you're gonna be up to snuff. We got Jacobian Morgan. Jacobian Morgan had 847 yards, 10 touchdowns, and 1 interception. He played in 6 games. So what do you think about Jacobian Morgan as far as being a front runner to the quarterback race?
He's Cam Newton 2.0.
Ooh!
That's what I think of Jacobian Morgan. First of all, he was trained, he went up to Syracuse. Dino Babers was the head coach. If Dino touches you, you know the quarterback position. So I expect him to have an outstanding year. I really do. Yeah.
Okay, Superman.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, Superman. So what is some things that now that we have that feel, what are some things that he needs to be successful? Let's talk about that offensive line.
You mean for Jacobian?
Yeah, because
we just talked about it. Quarterback coach, offensive coordinator, solid offensive line. If he gets the right offensive coordination, right quarterback coach, solid offensive line, he throws for 3,000 to 3,500 yards this year. And probably runs for another 500 or more.
Okay, so now that you answered that question, Mr. Ford, how do you have Jackson State ranked 4th and you over here giving out?
Well, and you know what? I was going to share this story with you this week, and you can actually pull it up. I don't know if you heard about this past weekend, last Saturday in Atlanta. The city of Atlanta had it was called the HBCU 5K run. It was down Peachtree or West Peachtree. I didn't go. A lot of my, associates and friends went. Of course, they called me and told me that the most dominant thing down there was everybody was talking HBCU football, especially about the SWAC, the MEAC. Now, the consensus from the people that was at that 5K run, and by the way, you can pull it up because it was broadcast. It was broadcast on Facebook Live. So all you got to do is put in 2024 5K HBCU 5K run in Atlanta. It should come up. But anyway, this is what my people told me. It was a consensus down there once again that whoever wins between Florida A&M and Jackson State will represent the SWAC in the Celebration Bowl. The other thing that was said was that Alabama State is overrated. And the thing that kind of got me was the MEAC people are saying that the team to beat in the MEAC is Morgan State. Now, I got a little issue with that. I love Morgan State, the way they play defense, but their offense, I'm a person who believes in balance. I think you should be able to run it, but you should also be able to throw it. And I think it's hard on defense when you're balanced. And I watched Morgan State's offense last year. It's kind of like watching paint dry. Really, a lack of an air game. They run the ball. Not outstanding quarterback play, but like I said, the word from the 5K run is that the MEAC people think that the team to beat in the MEAC is Morgan State.
I said it myself too.
Yeah.
Hello, everybody.
Hey, Jay.
How's it going?
Welcome to the panel. Mr. Ford, I love it when you just go ahead and give us, like they said in the chat, you give us the street committee report.
Oh, yeah.
ATL, what the gossip is, what the folks are saying, right? Because what that basically shows is that I didn't say it. Folks in the chat didn't say it. This is the talk around town, right?
Yeah.
So it's interesting that you said that when it comes down to it, it's going to be Jackson State versus FAMU. I have reservations about that. It's interesting that you did say that Alabama State is overrated.
Yeah. Now, I don't believe that, but that was the word. I don't believe that.
A lot of folks. And so we're gonna go over. But after you just dropped that tea, a couple of us had to go get a drink, some water, a glass of wine, a shot. You just cleared the room with that one.
Well, from what I was told from the people here in Atlanta, they are saying that Jackson State should be really, really good. I agree. I think that, but the expectations are sky high for Jackson State. From what I was told this weekend, from what the people were saying down there this weekend, they expect Jackson State to be really good.
I concur with that. I expect Jackson State to be good. The things that we needed to correct, it has been corrected, right? We saw Coach T.C. Taylor dial up a lot of plays for Shedeur Sanders, and he called, he was taken from that position. It was politics, right? We see how well he did. So I'm excited to see. Hang on, let me mute him. Over here sounding like a bag of chips. If it's
What's about me?
No, Doc, he be over there.
His mic already muted. That was probably me moving around.
You over there sounding like you in a closet.
Nah, I'm on my lunch break. I came on the panel. I figured we was going live today, but
no, you fine. I just thought it was Doc. We usually be calling out Doc when he does that. All right, so
don't play me. I'm at work.
Mr. Ford had his drink. Okay, all right, Jay. Let's go ahead and get some thoughts from you.
So what all I missed?
Okay, so I just need you to go ahead and rank between Myles, Crawley, Noah Bodden, and Jacobian Morgan.
Rank them?
Yeah. Myles, Crawley from Grambling, Jacobian Morgan, Noah Bodden.
I'm not gonna lie, I don't really know the conversation right now.
The quarterbacks. Doc, go ahead and rank those three real quick. Who you got?
That's what I'm doing.
Go ahead and rank them, honey.
Oh, Lord.
All right. Myles Crawley is number one for me. Jacobian Morgan is number two, and Noah Bodden is not going to be ranked at this particular time. So I got my 1 and 2. Who y'all want to do next? Let's do Chase Wilson. Mr. Ford, do you know anything about Chase?
Yeah, isn't that the kid from Texas Southern?
Yes, I'm going to go ahead and read out his stats. And you tell me, because I feel like Chase did step up. Even though it must have been there. It must have been Texas Southern's defense. Y'all tell me, what was it? I feel like Chase stepped up when Andrew Bodden had to exit stage left due to an injury. And I feel like he stepped up, but y'all tell me, what do you think it was that culminated that abysmal season for Texas Southern? So Chase Wilson, he's 5'11", 178 pounds. He's a junior. Well, he should be a senior now. He's from Missouri City, Texas, and his previous school was Furman.
Right. I saw him at Furman.
So his rushing statistics, he was. Let me go ahead and I'm gonna have to let me go on to the stats on ESPN, because sometimes these folks do. I'm not saying whether they did or they didn't. Sometimes they don't update their stats, and so I don't want to give you the wrong stats. And there's been a lot of movement going on over there. So let me go ahead and pull up Chase. So Chase, according to ESPN, had 1,633 yards, 10 touchdowns, and 5 interceptions. That was a very bad season for Texas Southern, right? I think they were hanging their hat on Andrew Bodden to take them to. They felt like he was going to lead them out of the wilderness, right? And he was not able to do that. So he completed 144 passes out of 252 attempts, 57.1 completion percentage for 1,633 yards. He averaged 6.5 yards and 10 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. His longest throw was 67. What do you think about this? I feel like his wide receivers were not living up to their name. You want to know whose ass they beat at Alcorn? Huh?
Hey, Tamon, I gotta go back on the floor, but I'll keep listening in on the live.
All right. Thank you for coming.
All right.
So
Hopefully once I get off, y'all probably still be on. Hopefully.
My thought about that is they really wasn't trying to predicate anything on the run. It was all going to be on the. The pass was going to be on the run.
Well, how did he throw for 73.9 versus Alcorn, who is basically the SWAC West champ before this game? I mean, they beat their ass so bad. They beat them black and blue. Y'all comment in the chat, how badly did Texas Southern beat Alcorn? How badly?
And because Ladarius Owens ran for over 200 yards in that game.
How badly did Texas Southern whoop up on Alcorn? I mean, his stats weren't bad either. He threw for 73.9%. They had something to prove. What happened? 17 for 23, 288 yards, 12.5 yards. Like, did somebody get paid to throw that game? Because good Lord, that was terrible. He only had 1 touchdown that game. 67 yards was his longest throw. He had 3 sacks. RTG 193.4. Like, what happened? To sleep. They beat them bad. They beat them to sleep. They beat them by 40. The upset of the decade. Mr. Ford.
Can you hear me?
What? Okay, so first of all, what happened to Texas, to Alcorn when they went to Texas Southern? Like, how do you get beat by a team that bad?
Well, first of all, I get, we got to remember the game was on Sunday. Okay. And how many hours is it from Norman to Houston, Texas? And then, when you sometimes you got those losing teams like Texas Southern, they'll have that one good game. But the thing that they always do is they always find a way to lose the game. And that's what Texas Southern always did, because they were losers. They always find a way to lose the game. A lot of those games, Texas Southern was in the game. But because they're losers, they find a way to lose the game.
Proverbial losers?
Oh, they're perennial losers.
Perennial? They're perennial losers.
Let me see. 'Cause, 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 The last time I kind of respected Texas Southern's program, that guy was named Johnny Cole. Johnny Cole had some players down there at one time and put it together. But they got rid of him because they said he was breaking rules. Now, that's been, when was that, Doc? When was Johnny Cole down there?
Early 2000s.
Yeah, because he won the SWAC championship game, but I think they made him give it back.
Oh, that was 20.
Cole was a cheater.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They always said, but see, his motto was, if you were at the Power 5 or if you were at the FBS schools and you needed another chance, come to Texas Southern. That was his thing.
Oh.
And he brought in some big timers down there, boy, especially in that offensive and defensive line.
Okay, so this is this particular, I'm sure that this particular history question is brought to you by whoever goes ahead and sends me a blessing to my Snap or to my Cash App. But we have a historical question for you, Mr. Ford. So we're going to take this. This is almost like a commercial break, right? So the commercial break is Ask Mr. Ford. So the question is, do you remember the 4 public relations directors from the 4 HBCU athletic conferences? Russell Stockard for the SWAC, James Jim Anolte from the side.
His name was Al Nudie.
Al Nudie?
Yeah, James Al Nudie.
Little from the CIAA and Larry Barber from the MEAC. So they're asking you that question. Yeah,
I remember. Al Nudie actually worked for the SWAC. He worked for the SIAC, and he worked for the CIAA. Now, while he was in the CIAA, he worked to me, was one of the greatest commissioners of all time. I think his name was Bob Moreland. He had a military background. This guy was highly organized. He was one of the best commissioners I've ever seen. You know, I've been keeping up with black college football for years. Somebody put in the CIAA, what was that man's name in the 80s and 90s? Was it Bob Moreland? He was the commissioner of the CIAA. That's who Al Nudie worked under. This man was brilliant. What does it say? Did anybody know? Somebody from the CIAA. What was the commissioner's name? He was before Leon Carey and them. I want to say his name was Moreland or something like that. But he had a military background, and he was highly organized. He's one of the best commissioners I've ever seen in my life for HBCUs.
You said
Al Nudie. Okay, what were you saying?
You said a CIAA.
He was the CIAA commissioner. That's who Al Nudie worked on. I want to say his name was Bob Moreland. Was it Bob Moreland or something? Did anybody put anything in the chat? He was from the CIAA.
His name was Bob Moorman.
That's him.
He's
one of the best. Yeah, he was the commissioner of the CIAA. He was no nonsense. He had a military background.
He made his first introduction into the CIAA as a student athlete at Hampton University in the 1940s. He also attended the University of Maryland while serving in the armed forces, graduating with a degree in military science.
That's him. He's one of the best. Now, Al Nudie also worked with a guy who I loved at Mississippi Valley. His name was Chuck Prophet. Chuck and Al Nudie and them, they went to the national press about Willie Totten and Jerry Rice. They were the ones who publicized them guys. See, the SWAC used to have something called the SWAC Caravan, where the SWAC coaches during the summer, they would go to all the major cities in the South and promote SWAC football. I wish we could bring that back. Any of y'all remember that? Do you remember that? That was heavy.
Remember that?
You remember that?
No, Mr. Ford, I do not remember it. But
they would, all of the SWAC coaches, it was like a SWAC caravan. They would go to New Orleans, they would go to Shreveport, they go to Jackson, they go to all the major cities in the South, and all of the SWAC coaches would talk about their program. And of course, Jackson State had W.C. Gordon, Alcorn had the Godfather, Marino Cassim. It was the gunslinger was at Mississippi Valley. He just died. What's his name? What's his name, Doc? He had Jerry Rice in them.
Archie Cooley.
Archie Cooley. And he was an entertainer.
Right. Hey, I got that one right. I said Cooley.
Cooley, that's right. But that's it. Did anybody say anything in the chat about they remember the
Mr. Campbell says he remembers that and they created a press guide for it.
That's right. Yeah. It was big. I wish they would go back to that. And the commissioner at that time was a guy named James Franks. Dr. James Franks. He was the commissioner. And Al Nudie was the conference publicity person. He was like the conference SID. And they were pushing Jerry Rice and Willie Totten. That's how the nation learned, because the nation got on the Jerry Rice bandwagon first because he was older than Totten. He was a year ahead of Totten, I think.
Well, thank you so much. And this is once again brought to you by, that's my little commercial. I'm going to get some sponsors, Mr. Ford, so that they can sponsor Ask Mr. Ford. And that's where basically somebody in the chat, or we are going to have people submit questions specifically for that. Now, back to our regular scheduled program. We talked a little bit about Chase. You just said that they were in it for a lot of games. I see that in versus Southern, 23-17, they lost in overtime. Versus FAMU, 31-21. Versus Jackson State, 21-19. Versus UAPB, 35-34. So you're right.
Oh yeah, but always remember, losers will find a way to lose. Always. They will find a way to lose.
Well.
Okay. So let's move on to the most anticipated dialogue that we'll have tonight, probably, especially in that chat, right? Because there's a lot of talk surrounding this young man, and he is actually has a lot of pressure on him to convert, and that is none other than Andrew Bodden. I'm getting ready to pull his stats up, and then we're just going to have some dialogue because a lot of people want to place Andrew Bodden at a front runner based off of his past performance. So we're getting ready to go over that. He's moved and transferred to Alabama State. That particular team had a pretty decent defense last year. And basically there was some pieces that needed to be added to the offense. Some of the wide receivers from Alabama State are gone this year. They transferred out. But we're just going to go ahead and look at Andrew Bodden. He only played in one game. He threw for 286 yards. He had 3 touchdowns and 3 interceptions. And he was throwing for 47.4%. Doc allegedly revealed, I need somebody to type about at least 5 allegedlys in the chat before I make this statement. Where's the allegeds? I don't see them before I make this statement. Okay. Well, while we're waiting for those allegeds, Ladarius says Joe Redmond, Lionel Taylor, and Wally Highsmith were the coaches during the 80s at Texas Southern.
I knew Highsmith. I met him at FAMU.
Kasim, Cooley, Robertson, Gordon, Otis, Washington at Sutter. I don't remember who coached in Texas Southern. Oh, okay. Joe Redmond, Lionel Taylor, and Wally Highsmith. Yeah,
Joe Redmond eventually became a high school coach in Miami at Miami Northwestern. He worked for a minute at Florida A&M. Yeah, I remember Joe Redmond. Joe, trying to think, Joe was at some black NIA schools. Was it NAIA schools? I think I remember Joe Redmond.
So allegedly, allegedly Andrew, or his body's shoulder was not 100%, and he wasn't necessarily supposed to play that first game, allegedly.
That is true, though.
No, you're just a doc. You're supposed to say allegedly. You have to
if
say
I got to put my source.
Unless you heard it from Andrew Body's mouth, it needs to be allegedly.
I heard it from more than just his mouth. But...
Okay, so allegedly Body's shoulder was not at 100%, so he shouldn't necessarily have played that game. So that might have contributed to that percentage. So, Mr. Ford, you had previously, I think you had Alabama State ranked as second to win the SWAC, right? You had FAMU, Alabama State, Bethune-Cookman, and then Jackson State.
I thought I had Bethune second.
I just said that. FAMU, Bethune, Alabama State, and then Jackson State.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so being that you have Alabama State second, I'm sure you're hinging it not just on the defense, but on the offense, right? So can you talk a little bit about what Andrew Body has to do this year offensively for Alabama State to get over that hump? Because when I look at Alabama State for their wins, there are a lot of close games, right?
Yeah.
And not only that, they struggled offensively. Now, the defense was solid, meaning the defense was able to hold the other teams from scoring as much as they usually do. But for Alabama State to get over that hump, they need a jolt in their offense. Do you think that Andrew Body is going to be able to showcase that? And will the Orange Blossom Classic basically be a determining factor in how you think the season will go versus North Carolina Central?
The number one question mark for Andrew Body is how strong is his offensive line going to be? Because if he's behind an offensive line that's strong with his running and throwing ability, he's going to be outstanding. But the thing that's in his corner that's a plus for him is that new offensive coordinator. I think his name is Barnett. Barnett, remember, Barnett won the Celebration Bowl, I believe, 2 or 3 times as offensive coordinator at North Carolina A&T. And he's proven. Mm-hmm. And I think that Barnett, I'm looking to see how will Barnett feature him. Will he make him the second most? Because Barnett usually always features an outstanding running game with 3 to 4 tailbacks, especially 2 really good tailbacks. Now, that's what I'm waiting to see. Will he come at you with the running game first and then feature Body as a passer second and then as a Body as a runner third? Now, but the most important thing to me is what kind of offensive line will Alabama State have? If Alabama State has an outstanding offensive line, like I told you earlier, with the 2 outstanding tackles, I'm looking for Body to turn it up. I'm looking for him to turn it out. I really am. But the thing that, like I said, the thing that he has in his corner is that he has a championship offensive coordinator. Doc, what's his first name? What's Barnett's first name?
Chris
Barnett. Yeah. He has Barnett as his offensive coordinator. I'm looking to see how will Barnett feature him. Okay? Because this is a kid with a lot of talent. This kid is the proverbial dual threat. He can throw it and he can run it. And like I said, to me, I don't care how good a quarterback you are, you got to have an offensive line. And then the other thing is, I got to know that you got competent quarterback coach, competent offensive coordinator. Now, if he's got those things in place, I think Body gonna have a big year.
So for me, I feel like, and I've said this over the time that I've had my podcast, I've said that the Texas Southern coaches were not able to build an offense around Body, right? for some reason, they weren't able to get the O-line, which that offensive line coach is now at Jackson State. And when I looked at his resume, that offensive line coach is a good coach. So maybe it was more about the type of players that were there. But our offensive line, like we done brought in some good offensive linemen, and then we've had the most stability at the center. You know, we have Evan Henry.
Oh, he's big time. I love Evan.
Now, wait a minute, Mr. Ford. Mr. Ford, you have us fourth in the East.
Yeah.
Let me see. I had Fam, Bethune-Cookman,
Alabama State, and then Jackson.
Yeah.
What kind of moonshine you drinking right now? Because I don't want that.
No, I just, the only thing for me, TC and his group got to show me some things. I haven't seen it yet.
Everybody in the SWAC, you making us work the hardest.
No, I'm not making you work the hardest. I'm gonna be honest with you. I was so disappointed last year in that homecoming game, and I was so disappointed in that game against Alcorn. I really was. I was just very disappointed.
But Mr. Ford, those problems have been addressed. So
well, that's what I'm saying. Like I was saying earlier, that was the consensus downtown last Saturday was that Jackson is going to be really good. That's what I was told. That most people feel like Jackson's going to be really good next year.
Right, we're not soft in the middle on offense or defense. We're not soft.
No, you're not soft. The only question mark for me for Jackson, because you got the talent, you always have the talent, but I've got to see that coaching staff become a championship coaching staff. I got to see it. I love TC. I met TC up at Durham when he and Jerry Mack and the Bradley and all them was up in Durham, and I thought the world of them. But I'm still telling you, I've got to see Jackson's football staff go from a good staff to a championship staff. I got to see that.
And so so you're giving Bethune-Cookman based off of their recruiting, you're giving them the benefit of the doubt, and then Alabama State, who lost a lot on defense. They lost a lot on defense. They lost 2 all SWAC offensive linemen. They got a lot to prove too, right?
They do, but listen, they brought in Barnett, who, like I told you before, you A&T people, how many times did Barnett win the Celebration Bowl? I know he won it twice. Did he win it 3 times? That was a big move. That was to bring Barnett.
Keon Johnson or the star receiver transferred out.
Right, he did. Yeah, he did. So that's another thing. I got to see how did they bring in some more top line wide receivers, or how they gonna deal with the fact that they lost all them wide receivers. I'm waiting to see that.
Maybe I've not been looking in the right circles or the right gyms. I haven't seen no committed wide receivers, but like you said, maybe they keeping stuff under wraps.
Yeah, because it can be done under the radar, because everybody right now is basically focused on Florida A&M. Every day, every week, we hear something about Florida A&M, whether it's on the field or off the field. It's everybody's radar is on Florida A&M. So yeah, they could have brought somebody in and we don't know nothing about it, because really everybody's just the soap opera is FAMU. That's who everybody's keeping up with.
A soap opera as the world turns.
It's a soap opera, and that's who everybody's keeping up with.
We'll return for the second half of Days of Our Lives.
Oh yeah, as the world turns in Tallahassee. That's what everybody's keeping up with this summer. What's going on in Tallahassee? So,
Doc, what is your analysis on Andrew Body and that Alabama State offense? What are some keys that need to be key things that need to happen for that offense to gel correctly?
My first analysis is, can he stay upright? That's the main thing. Can he stay upright? And really, the second one is, how well is his shoulder now? Because remember, last season, when we was at Media Day, I asked him about his shoulder. He said it was fine.
I mean, he's had a lot of time to rest and recuperate and basically reset, right?
Right.
He's had that space time and, the ability to basically rehab correctly.
So now, can you stay upright? How well can you gel with your offensive line? First of all, the offensive line has to gel together by itself. And then another thing is your playmakers. As far as your running backs and receivers, you don't have Keyshawn Johnson. He's at Western Kentucky. So who is that? Who's going to be the main target for you? So those are questions that need answers to it. And as far as running the ball, who's going to be your running back? Because everybody knows that Bama State hangs their head on defense.
I mean, their defense was good.
Right, but they also lost some defensive starters on their team too. A couple of them went to FBS, and others went to the NFL. So that's my whole assessment as far as that. If he can stay upright, if he can play at least 10 games this season, I mean, and he can complete at least 60% of his passes and not try to force a lot of things, I think he can actually make some things happen.
So Andrew Body's 6'1", 190 pounds, which at this point he's probably up to 200 pounds probably. He's from Corpus Christi, Texas. He went to Miller High School. At Texas Southern, he threw for 2,839 yards and 15 touchdowns over 3 seasons. He completed 222 of 383 passes and rushed for 867 yards and 5 touchdowns. And he was named the 2022 preseason All-SWAC second team. In 2021, he finished the 2021 season as TSU's single-season record holder in total offense with 265.9 yards per game, while finishing second in the SWAC and fourth all-time in single-season passing at TSU with 2,017 passing yards. He was a dual threat as he rushed for 121 yards and 1 touchdown while passing for 271 yards and 4 touchdowns en route to national honors against Arkansas Pine Bluff. He rushed for 134 yards and a touchdown while throwing for 163 yards on 13 of 25 passing in a season finale at Alabama State. So basically, at this time, I am still going to have Myles Crawley and Jacobian Morgan at the front 2 spots as of right now. So top 2. That's what I got. Is there any other quarterbacks that we should be looking at? We looked at Chase. We looked at Noah. Mr. Campbell, fam, you ain't got a quarterback, do they? Mr. Ford, didn't you say they had about 12 quarterbacks in that room?
They got 8 on the roster. They got 8 on the roster.
They got 1 for every day of the week.
Yeah, they got 8 on the roster, and they just got one from UM. They picked up one from UM, I think, last week.
Okay.
But I personally believe that kid, what's his name?
Maritovich.
Yeah, he'll start. Because he knows the offense. He knows it, and he knows it very well. I'm just waiting to see what kind of arm talent does he have. If he got arm talent, man.
Who has an arm talent? You talking about the new quarterback that just came in from Miami?
No, I'm talking about Maritovich, Junior Maritovich. I don't, I've seen him throw it, but I need to see him really throw it against, outstanding competition. That's what I'm waiting to see.
How did you find out that they had 8 quarterbacks?
I think they said it. Where did I see that?
You got all the tea. I just want to know.
Yeah, 8. I think they got 8 quarterbacks.
Good Lord. All right. So that just might be one of those surprise things, right? Because like you said, you think that there's a possibility that a newcomer could come into the SWAC.
Oh, yeah. Listen, it's a lot of guys that have no SWAC stats. I'm looking at the quarterback position right now. We're going to be talking about them guys. And they have no SWAC stats at all. Because I'm telling y'all, I've seen that kid from Biloxi. He can play. The one that's going to Grambling, that kid can play. I'm trying to get some film on that kid from Jacksonville State that's going to Grambling. I haven't seen him yet. Doc, what's his name?
Which
Why
one?
you feel like Doc should know?
Because Doc is like me. He's a history major. He know everything.
What did you say? The quarter for Jacksonville
From Jacksonville State that went to Grambling.
So
State?
where's the Gramblings? Grambling, dear Grambling.
Huh?
I'm asking Mr. Campbell to name him. They can't even name a quarterback. They keeping it a secret. They said FAMU has a quarterback that has more starts, period, than all the SWAC quarterbacks.
Who is he talking about? Richardson? Which quarterback is that? Is that Richardson?
I want to know. Tell me who it is.
I guess he's talking about Richardson.
Mr. Willie, I don't hate Southern. I just despise y'all very badly.
Ashton Fry.
Well, tell Mr. Willie, we need Southern to be a perennial winner again. We need Southern or Grambling to take over the SWAC West.
No,
we need that.
Willie!
Pete Richardson ain't coming through that though.
Huh?
Oh, Ashton Fry.
They got one of his disciples. Hopefully he learned from him.
So Ashton Fry is the transfer portal quarterback that you're talking about, 6'5", 195 pounds.
And that's the kid from.
That's the one that you're talking about.
From
Jacksonville. That's the one you.
I guess so. I said I was going to try. What'd you say his name was?
Ashton Fry.
That's F-R-Y? F-R-Y? Huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
F-R-Y-E.
Okay.
You said that, okay. I want y'all to name some of these newcomers. Don't be scared. Let's just look at them. Don't be scared.
Of course, you got to talk about that kid from the kid that signed with, was it Penn State? And then he went to Oklahoma, and then he was at Charlotte. Now he at Bethune-Cookman. We got to look at that.
Michael Bowens.
Yeah, okay, we got to look at that kid.
Look at it.
And what about this Junior Maritovich?
So he went on a sabbatical, basically, is what you're saying. He went all around the world.
Which one now?
All right. I don't know. I don't know who you were talking about. I just know you named 4 or 5 different schools.
Cam Peters for Prairie View.
That's what I'm saying.
Wait. Okay, here's Ashton Fry. He had 51 yards, and that's what he had for the 2023 season. Let me see if I can pull up his career stats. Career stats are updated nightly. Oh, okay. So he had 5 of 11 for 51 yards. So this particular young man, he doesn't necessarily have any stats, but that's probably one of those student athletes that you have to actually look at their preseason stats. You know what I'm saying? Or not preseason, high school. You have to go look at the high school stats.
What's his hometown?
So, let me see. Let's see. It says that he's a freshman. He's from Springville, Alabama.
Okay.
So he doesn't necessarily have any stats, but like I said, that might be one of those young men to look at their high school, what they did in high school. All right. Let me see. Bethune has 3. I have not seen no first and last names. Avion Smith from Alabama A&M. What do you think about him, Mr. Ford?
Now, this is the kid from Miami of Ohio?
Or have you even heard of anything?
Yeah,
I've heard of him, but I don't. Doc, I haven't seen him play.
Alabama A&M.
I need to see some film on him. I haven't seen any film.
that's something that I would got to see. Because I can't, I just can't go.
Oh, y'all have to see some film on Avion. Well, Jay Smith seems to think that he is going to basically, well, like he said, they win in the SWAC East, right? So this has to be the quarterback that they're hanging their offense on. So he is from Miami, Ohio. He's a 3-star or former 3-star quarterback, Avion Smith. Stats for you all, because Jay White says that this right here, this is the quarterback. And we all know that when Maynard gets a hold of a good quarterback, then his offense runs like a well-oiled machine, right, Mr. Ford?
Yeah, he gets it. The only thing with Maynard that's always hurts him is he never puts together a defensive staff. He neglects his defense. He's always done that. He's wasted so much time with Boulware, and now these people want to run him out of Huntsville.
Well, them Bulldogs do not want to let me be great. Samari Collier, quarterback transfer from Hutchinson, Kansas, as a JUCO to Grambling. He's a 3-star. Okay.
And then I know A&M got a freshman QB from Tucker.
Yeah, that's the big kid. He's about 6'6" and
6'8", 260.
Yeah, that's right. I heard about him.
Tovich is going to be that guy.
Who is that?
But for FAMU. But wasn't FAMU soft in the middle during that spring game? So
I told you what they did. Really you said it on the air, and they made sure they remedied that situation. Okay. They got so many defensive linemen.
No, but what I'm saying is his performance at the spring game was like stat padding because they were soft in the middle, right?
Yeah, but they gone and gotten personnel.
If you don't have any defense going on. Okay. Well, if this isn't their quarterback, Maynard, so according to Jay White, Avion Smith is the quarterback. But when I tried to look up his stats. Hey, if we're basing it off of those key indicators, which was completion percentage, number of touchdowns, and then the ratio between interceptions and touchdowns, a lot of these quarterbacks have a lot to prove, right? So Avion Smith is 210 pounds, 6'1". He's from Lexington, South Carolina.
Oh, okay.
His previous school was Miami, Ohio. He played in 10 games. He went 48 of 96, passing for 638 yards with 2 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. On the ground, Smith carried the ball 75 times for 280 yards with 1 score, rushed for 99 yards, including a 50-yard run against Toledo, and he threw for 170 yards against Ball State. In 2022, he finished the season with 1,299 yards passing and 11 touchdowns, and he added 553 yards and 6 scores on the ground. He became the first player in program history to lead the team in rushing and passing in the same season. So basically, Avion Smith is what you would call a dual threat quarterback.
Okay.
So he attended White Knoll High School.
What was the high school?
Okay. White Knoll High School.
Oh, okay.
Are you familiar with that?
No,
Lexington, South Carolina.
And what city is that close to? Is that close to Columbia? Is that close to Myrtle Beach?
We got Mr. Ooh Baby in the chat. So, that's close to Columbia.
Oh, close to, okay. Oh, yeah.
So Jay White says that Avion Smith was a MAC champion. So that's
say it again.
He's one of those front runners. Jay White said that Avion Smith was a MAC champion.
Whoa. Okay.
So does that, that might be his quarterback, right?
Yes, listen.
Somebody in the chat said dual threat's got to be able to throw when he can't throw.
They said what in the chat?
I didn't say that. Dual threats have to be able to throw, and he can't throw.
Oh, okay. Yeah, they got to be able to beat you with their arm and their legs.
So
got that link.
Can you go ahead and just, based off of the information that we've compiled so far, who do you think is going to be the top 3 in the quarterback room? Who's number 1? Who got? Mr. Ford, you go first. Who's number 1?
I'm gonna go with the kid y'all got, Morgan. What's his name? Is it Jacobian?
Ding, 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 ding.
Yeah, and
Jacobian Morgan.
Now the second one, I'm gonna shock y'all. I'm gonna shock you right here. I watched some of Fam's spring game. I'm gonna have to go with Maritovich. Yeah, because he got an offensive line. He got an offensive line.
Maritovich number 2.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Maritovich because people talking about what's the guy that just left Fam? The one that came from Vanderbilt. What's his name? Junior Musa. With Musa. See, Musa had a big arm, but he was inconsistent. He had a big arm now. He had an NFL type arm. But sometimes he was lost, and then he come out and looked like he was supposed to be in the NFL. He was up and down. I think this kid's going to be more consistent. I think Maritovich is going to be more consistent. I don't know if he's got that Musa arm now, because Musa had a big arm.
Why wasn't Maritovich ever able to get into the game then? If he was so good, why was he not able to play? Was it one of those coaching decisions where you didn't want for your quarterback to second guess his play so you don't sit him?
Well, now, one thing Willie didn't do, Willie was never going to do, he was never going to fracture his quarterback's psyche. Because I remember, listen, I came home from one day from school, and what's that, Doc? What's that thing they have down there? Is it called the 220 Club or what's that? You know that it's these.
The 220 Club.
Yeah, and they were basically telling Willie in
the 220 Club.
Yeah, 220. Okay, so they were telling Willie to sit Musa down. I mean, and they were really firm about it. They wanted him benched. And Willie was like, no, because he's played the position and he wasn't going to do anything.
He checked everybody. He checked everybody. He said,
and he wasn't going to do nothing to fracture his pocket because he is a quarterback coach extraordinaire. He knows, he wasn't going to do it. He was not going to do that. And a lot of people would have did just what them people said and then blamed it on, I did it. They give all that money and all of that, but he didn't let them take over his program because they was like adamant, like, we want him on the bench.
They wanted to bench him.
Yeah, they wanted him benched.
All right. So, it makes you wonder, right? It makes you wonder. So, Dooley did the same thing, and the results were not resulting. Right? He did not want to necessarily sit his quarterback.
The way that Dooley did it was damn near criminal. He should have been started Bubba McDaniel in that game.
Oh yeah. That whole Bubba McDaniel thing got him fired.
He got him fired. Yeah, he
got him fired.
That up. And stuck with him all the way up until it was 33-0 in that SWAC championship game, and he put him in.
So switching gears a little bit, because I think, Ms. Doc, go ahead and give us your top three. So, Mr. Ford, you have one more. So you said Jacobian Morgan, Maritovich, and who's your number three for SWAC quarterbacks at this time?
I want, Tim Ford, okay, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. We just want to know what number three is. Uh-oh. Blues? Who is the quarterback then?
It might be
right. He over here throwing shade, talking about, can we talk about a conversation that Bodden might not be the most talented quarterback on Southern's roster? Well, what's their name? We need to look it up. What's their name? Let's have a conversation. Okay, Zodalorian, welcome to the panel.
What's going on? What up, Doc? What up, Mr. Ford?
What up, Zoe?
Zoe. Ooh, baby.
Here you go.
Welcome to the panel. I would be interested in hearing your quarterback analysis, just a brief analysis of, the quarterback rooms in the SWAC.
The rooms in general?
No, or just give us your top three quarterbacks. The top three.
Returning? Well, right now, in the SWAC, right?
Yep.
Okay. All right. The only true right answer at number one is it has to be Myles Crawley. At number one, has to be.
Right.
Just because of production, what he did first year under coach, you know what I'm saying? And granted, you have a new coach coming in, but production and he's coming back, you have to go with Myles Crawley at number one. Number 2, I would put Jacobian. Jacobian didn't play in the number of games that Myles did, but Jacobian still, for the time that he played, put up good numbers, good rushing numbers. But from a throwing standpoint, you know what I'm saying, it's almost like he barely got enough attempts to be a qualifier, but you saw enough from him in the games that he played that you can have high regard for him. Plus, the team finished 7-4, so, and we won the vast majority of the games that he played, so he showed enough. And then coming in at number 3, I gotta think, because man, we lost so many quarterbacks. Returning. Man, honestly, this may sound crazy, but I'm probably going to end up going with the guy from Valley.
Tajarian.
Who is that?
Tajarian Williams.
I would go with the guy from Valley over the kid from Texas Southern, because you got to understand, that kid from Valley, he actually showed some promise in a few games, and he started as a true freshman. And that's not an easy thing to do. And again, first year coach, you know what I'm saying, new turnover, coming straight out of high school and do what he did. And he struggled against a good team, but that's to be expected on the collegiate level. And then coming into that situation at Valley. So, but again, his production still lined up, and he had far less to work with than the quarterback at Texas Southern. So I would roll with those 3 that I can think of right now.
Let me look up Tajarian Williams. Let me look up Tajarian Williams and pull him up.
Tajarian Williams, 6'3", 240, lefty from Alabama.
Okay. What school did he come from?
I'm unsure. But now, let me say this now. I'm only saying the top 3, but I'm going with the top 3 returning quarterbacks. You know, so we say in the SWAC right now, present day, preseason, returning quarterbacks. I would go with Myles, Crawley, Jacobian, and the kid from Valley. Because everything else that you would put up is way too many questions. What were they? What were they?
Andrew Body.
No, it's not the kid from Valley.
6 touchdowns, 7 interceptions.
What was his completion percentage in the yards?
Touchdowns, 7 interceptions. He had 1,193. I'm getting ready to pull it up. 1,193 yards. 6 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. His completion percentage was 61.5%, though.
And remember, he's a true freshman. And again, it wasn't like Valley had a lot to run. Remember, bear in mind, he has at his disposal coming into the second year one of the best offensive players in the SWAC, that tight end. The tight end he was throwing to was a true freshman as well. So you got to figure some continuity. You got to figure some continuity, some growth, and they should actually have a better connection to put up some better numbers this year. So for him to bring about
upgrades.
Well, we hope.
You think that they could have some upsets in
I honestly, just to be truthful, honestly, I don't know enough. I haven't researched Valley enough to give a real honest answer. Just to be truthful about it. I haven't. Now I'll do that starting next week, leading up to SWAC Media Day. I'm only familiar with a few players. I haven't really just buckled down and really watched Valley to really give you an honest answer. But if I had to go with my gut, I can say for the first time in a long time, I think Valley, if that quarterback actually gets a little bit better than what he was, and he shows some growth, I can see them clipping somebody. I'm not going to do this thing where other people say, oh, man, Valley's going to be a tough out. They lost a lot, but I think if he grows and you got that tight end, you got a formidable weapon. If they can find another good receiver outside, because they have capable enough running backs that they can have at least a semblance of an offense to do some damage. They lost a lot of defense, so I would say if they could have, hey, anything can happen. They could have a good day at the office and clip somebody.
I think with Jackson Davis, that's the tight end. You can flex him out as receiver too because we talking about a kid that's 6'5", maybe 215, 220. Probably put on a little bit more weight in this offseason, but you can actually flex him out to receiver. And he can be some matchup nightmares for a couple of teams. especially if the team is running, they have shorter cornerbacks.
And look, let me. I saw somebody in the comment. Look, let me just. Go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead. You wanted to go ahead and.
No. I was just going to say. I saw the one of the comments. I was going to say, let me disqualify myself because now with the advent of the transfer portal and as crazy as it is, I'm gonna be honest. It's hard to remember players held even at Jackson State, let alone from other teams. We're interchanging players so much; it's hard to keep up. So, until the season, I probably won't remember the kid because somebody said the kid at Valley, and it's hard to keep up with all these players' names. There's too much player movement.
Well, can you speak to the offensive line and how important it is, and how Jackson State got the best offensive line in the SWAC? Most stable going into TC Taylor's second year, right?
Yeah, we have a lot of continuity. Our O-line is going to be good. We were above average, last year. The O-line play was actually decent, a lot better than what we forecasted. Especially when you talk about, what we did with the overhaul of so many players. But the main thing over everything is the continuity that we have. With this line, I can tell you guys, it's going to be huge. We're looking across the front. We're pretty much going to be about to a man, about 6'5", and I probably hover to say around 6'5", 290, a man, from tackle to tackle, and we're looking good. I do say right now, I'm not gonna say we have the best line. It's hard to say that for anybody right now in July, but we'll definitely know what we have within that first week against ULM. FAMU brings back a good number, and they're gonna have a good line. Well, at least we think they will. Still doesn't mean anything, but I think right now, if I had to say the best O-line in the SWAC, I'm gonna hover between. You can do a coin flip, and I can go between JSU and FAMU.
Defensive line.
Oh, we got that. That's. Oh man, players top 3. Well, I'm gonna say this: the best 2 returning pass rushers in the conference, man, got to go with Malachi Bailey, and then from Alcorn, and we have to go. I can't think of the kid name from Southern. Pass rushers, I go with them. But D tackles, I'm sticking solely on Lynch Street. Jeremiah Williams is a dog at D tackle, and we got some more kids. But I will say this: keep an eye out for Josh Nobles at Jackson State. He will be in contention for Defensive Player of the Year.
Mr. Campbell said that they have some FAMU all-conference linemen coming back. He ain't dropping no names. He just saying it, but he ain't dropping no names.
Yeah, you said a lot. He ain't said a lot of their size. Yeah, they were their size last year. Our line was good last year too. O-line play was actually pretty decent for Jackson last year. I mean,
and we had a freshman All-American, didn't we?
I will say this: Jackson State has hands down the best. We have hands down the best running back room in the conference, and if Irv doesn't get hurt, he's running away with the rushing title in conference. It's not even close. We did some good things. Our O-line was actually really, really good last year. The production was there. Our problem was on defense. And then we just had some inability at quarterback. But outside of that, the O-line, outside of that, we were actually good. Special team, we just had injuries. Special team was fine. It was just injuries. We went through three kickers. Coincidentally, they're all back now. G Baby is back and healthy. We got a lot of really, really good pieces.
Mm-hmm.
No, sir.
Any
There is
questions
not a
for
better
Zoe in the
defense.
chat?
There is not a better defensive tackle than Jeremiah Williams. It ain't even close.
And I'm surprised ain't nobody getting no type
So
of
should he
love
be
for Tyus
first?
Martin
Should he
either,
be
man.
first team all SWAC preseason? He should
Jeremiah,
be
yeah,
preseason all SWAC then, right? Jeremiah Williams.
he
We should really
should,
have
but
more than one player on first team.
Yo,
Kevin Henry should be on there.
can I say this? As far as on the defense, we talking about defensive tackles. Ain't nobody getting no type of love to Tyus Martin, dog.
Well, Tyus gonna do his thing this year, man. He like I said, man, I think people got to remember at the end of the day, the Jackson State team you saw last year was a brand new, quick assembled team. You talking about 50 some new players, but again, we all know in any team, every team makes its biggest growth from game 1 to game 2. Well, when you have a new coaching staff, you have your biggest leap between year 1 and year 2. You speak the continuity. You speak of, everything that's going on, and you talk about growth from year 1 to year 2, and we have that as well. At the end of the day, we return a lot of starters back from last year's team. We finished 7-4. We could have easily gone 9-2.
8-3.
9-2.
9-2. That's that Alabama State Alcorn game, eh?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And like I said, so we can't sit here and gloss over the fact that we did finish 7-4. With season played out how it played out. So now you transition from last season. You finished 7-4. You have the best recruiting class. Basically in all of FCS, hands down within the HBCU ranks. Then again, you got a returning starter at quarterback. You're replacing your linebacker group, which was the main Achilles heel from last year. We had one of the best defensive secondaries in the conference. All of those guys returned. We were stout up the middle. We lose Dede, but we replaced them very, very well. And we generated enough of a pass rush, and we upgraded that as well. So how anybody can sit here and think that there's going to be drop off for Jackson State with, again, you upgraded your recruiting. You brought the majority of your players back. You finished 7-4 with that same returning quarterback playing full time now. You made upgrades at receiver, got the best hands down the best running back room in the conference. You upgraded tight end and expect for there to be some reduction or fall off is mind boggling. So, but again, some people got to see it, and that's fine. I'm not sitting here and saying we're going undefeated because being undefeated is a difficult thing to do. But how people can sit out here and be like, oh, I got Jackson State being 6-6. I'm like, how and where? So we definitely won't do that. But take them one at a time. But I feel really, 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 really good about this team.
How do you feel about that Bethune game or trap games?
What was that?
I said, how do you feel about trap games? Like Jackson State has a couple of games where, that Bethune game on the road, that's their homecoming. And then I would say Bethune Cookman and Alabama State are probably our hardest games, right?
I'm gonna say this: the whole trap game quote it only applies to certain teams. That's not applicable to every team. And looking at the schedule, saying, "Oh, that's a trap game," because they're going to be looking ahead. That's applicable to certain teams. A lot of times, if you got a team that runs hot and cold, they get high and low. But anytime you, for the most part, have a team that's projected to like win out or and they're the leader, those are the teams who tend to have trap games for over, what I'm saying, looking ahead. We finished 7-4 last year. We didn't win what we set out to do. And just for being around this team, Bethune-Cookman is not a trap game. You got to remember last year, that was a tough as nails game. And for what our goals are and what we're trying to do, there's no game on the schedule where Jack says going to sit here and, "Oh, we're playing such and such, but we're looking ahead." I can even tell you right now, like Lane, somebody will say that's the case. Lane is a trap game because we play Southern the week after that. It's too early in the season to be a trap game. It's the second game of the season. You see what I'm saying? So it's not a trap game. It's a home opener.
Right.
But there are such thing as trap game. It's applicable to certain teams. It's not something that's just a standard thing for every team in the conference. Every team has a trap game because, oh yeah, they're going to be looking ahead. And that's just people having a feeling, thinking and speaking for 80 or 90 some players on a team when I can assure you, being around them and this coaching staff, they're not looking ahead to anybody.
Okay. Yeah,
I see somebody say, I see somebody saying Bethune is going to beat Jack State 28-17. So explain to me how they're going to get 28 points when you don't know who the quarterback is. You don't know, you know what I'm saying? And basing off of last year, what they did, it's amazing how people come up with points. So explain to me where did you pull the 28 out your ass and say Jack State, Bethune is going to score 28 points against Jackson State? Please enlighten me. And tell me how you pulled out your ass at 28-17. Please enlighten me.
Oh Lord.
Okay, so your only retort to that is Bethune-Cookman has 3 quarterbacks. So using your logic, FAMU is going to beat everybody because they got 8. Hey man, it's July. I love the pass.
Yes. Everybody got an opinion, right, Zoe? That's what's so
something
great
like
about the
that.
SWAC. Everybody.
Something like that, man.
Oh my goodness. Oh Lord, have mercy. All right. So, any other questions for Zoe? Mr. Sexy Red over here on the panel. Thank you for coming on.
I appreciate the invite. I tell you what, if I'm on the bet, the role will actually probably end up being reversed. We'll probably end up being Bethune-Cookman 2018. I don't do the whole score thing. It's way, way, way too early for that. But we'll see.
I love that we get to go to Daytona Beach. That needs to be one of my games, okay? Going to Daytona Beach for homecoming.
What was that?
I said going to Daytona Beach for homecoming. What games are you going? Are you going to go to that Bethune game?
I'm at every game.
Okay. Then I'll see you.
Man, as a road warrior.
Yeah. So it seems like there's a lot of FAMU and Southern haters in the chat tonight. Jordan, what was your question? Ask it. Jordan had a question for you, Zoe. HBCU Band Talk, who is obviously a Wildcat, said, "My unbiased opinion is Bethune-Cookman will win the East." Oh my God, that is so crazy.
Blue, yes, we are gonna make it there.
So
And I, you know what? And Blue,
hasn't scored.
And Blue, I owe you too. I gotta square up with you when I see you social media day. Yeah, we're gonna make another bet. But yeah, man,
What was the
listen,
bet?
no, betting JSU and Alcorn. I bet we lost. But no, man,
Oh
I understand.
Lord,
I
are you gonna
understand.
bet? You gonna bet that Alcorn versus Jackson State again? You gonna
Oh,
bet
for
it
sure.
again?
Oh, for sure. I'm telling you, I feel really, 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 really good about this team. Really, really good about this team. The defense is outstanding right now. I know anybody may say that because you're going to get your own, but we look really, really good. We've definitely upgraded the linebacker room, which was what was needed because, like I said, that was the Achilles heel of the team last year. We had no second line of defense, and we really, really upgraded that. Um, Again, the DBs are what they are, and the pass
We
rush, we've upgraded there. Hmm?
Upgraded our play calling. Upgraded our play calling.
Oh, most definitely. But again,
So Zork,
I'm go ahead.
Jordan has a question for you. What has Bama State done to be over FAMU or JSU? Who said Bama
Who
State
said
was
that?
over
Who's
FAMU or
who's
Jackson
about?
State?
You read my mind. Who said that?
Who has been saying that? Who said that? Who said that? Oh Lord. All right. So
I wonder who said
I
that.
don't think I think the preseason polls have Alabama State as winning the SWAC this year. Mr. Ford has Jackson State as fourth. He said FAMU, Bethune, Alabama State, and then Jackson State.
Hold
For
on.
me,
So hold on 1 second. This is a serious question. All right, because I'm really trying to get people logic. Forget that I'm a JSU insider, right? Just forget that I'm that. I got a real logical football question. So this tells me a lot about people's football acumen. Okay, you have a team. I'm not going to say Jack State. You have a team that was 7-4 last year. The quarterback that played last year, because we played two. You have a returning quarterback. There's only four returning starters within the conference that they play in. He's easily one of the top two of the returning quarterbacks in this conference. All right. He showed a lot of promise last year. And when he played, 90% of the time they won. He ended up getting hurt in the Alcorn game. We ended up playing both quarterbacks that game. But you go 7-4. You out recruit everybody in the conference, right? Now you go into and also the 7-4 season. You got a first time head coach with a completely overall roster, but following that season, you out recruit everybody within the conference. All right. Then you're going from year one to year two. And I'm still trying to understand how you have teams who fared worse than what they did, then out recruit them, but they're going to leapfrog them. And then I'm asking, give me the logical reasons why that's happening. Now, forget that we're talking about. This is not about thinking that Jackson is going to win the East. We're not even talking about that. How in the hell can you pick Jackson to finish fourth with everything I just told you? How in the hell what has Bethune-Cookman done to surpass them? See, that type of logic, that type of reasoning, like, doesn't make any type of sense. Like, seriously. Now, if you want to sit here and think other teams can come on, man, recruiting is subjective, really. So what I'm saying is, if you don't think Jackson is going to be 92, that's fine. That's not even the point that I'm getting at. What I'm saying is, how in the hell are you going to sit and tell me that these other schools are going to leapfrog us? FAMU, that's fine. Hey, to be the champ, you got to beat the champ. So that's fine. You can see them there. But how in the world you manage Jack State's going to be fourth, and Bethune-Cookman, who won 2 games, is going to leapfrog them? Man, that's crazy. That's crazy. I'm not trying to convince myself anything. I mean, like I'm gonna say it. I'm on record. I got us finishing 9-2. Listen, I got Jack State finishing 9-2 for the season.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna get into who we'll lose to. Again, it's hard to go undefeated, but we will beat ULM. Take that to the bank. We will beat ULM. The first school to SWAC, the first school in the SWAC to beat a Sun Belt team. We will do that. But I got us going to 9-2. That's the floor for Jackson State next season. The floor is for us to go 9-2.
Facts.
The floor. Oh, I'm sorry. Well, 10-2. Forgive me. You're right. 10-2. That's the floor. The floor is that we'll go 10-2. I'm programmed for 11 games. We won't be third behind Bama State. I don't even get the Bama State hype train.
Hanging that head on that. Hanging that head on the quarterback.
I mean, here's the thing about Body. I mean, we want to talk about the talent, but you are what your record says you are. I'm not threatened by a quarterback that's only won 9 collegiate games. I'm not. So, I know people say, well, he has better talent at Alabama State than what he had at Texas Southern. Do we really? Because you just lost your best offensive weapon when Johnson left. And what receivers do they have that's putting a scare in anybody? And they're going to be a run-heavy team anyway. So, and again, they cut their mustard on defense. They lost 3 of their best defenders. And, so again, I'm trying to see where you make up the difference to where Alabama State is going to be this powerhouse that they're going to do these things that people are proclaiming that they're going to do. Show me, don't go off feeling. Show me, talk to me and tell me what you see that's tangible that they have outside of Body, because Body has been getting bodied since he's been in this way. His only claim to fame in college is beating Southern twice. That's it. He has 9 wins in his college career. What am I exactly afraid of? And what is he going to do to get Alabama State over the threshold?
So we talk about with Body. He got 9 wins. 2 of those wins against Southern. He has not beaten the Big 3 in the East, and he has not beaten his I would say crosstown rival, but he ain't beat that school up 290.
He has 9 wins in his college career. His greatest claim to fame in college is he has 2 wins against Southern. That's it. These are facts. That's facts. I'm just saying. I'm not talking about feeling. Give me some tangible evidence as to why Alabama State is going to be what people are saying they're going to be. Because, again, they hung their hat on defense. They lost 3 of their best defenders. And you lost your best offensive weapon. I mean, I got time. I'm just saying.
He did beat Alcorn.
I didn't say it. Oh, he beat Alcorn?
Yeah, he beat Alcorn.
Okay, so he got 8 other wins.
But the question, but the thing is, your Big 3 in the SWAC. He hasn't beaten Grambling. He hasn't beaten Jackson State. He never played against FAMU. So what other can we say that he's going to be the top quarterback, especially in the East? I don't see it.
I mean, Doc, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, look, I know people want to bring up Alabama State, but Alabama State is not going to be it's not the game for the division. I mean, honestly, I can present more of a real tangible case for Bethune-Cookman than I can Alabama State, if we're really being honest. I really, really could. I really could. And so much so that I think that if Bethune-Cookman actually get decent quarterback play, they're going to be more of a thorn. But I tell you what, here's a bold take for y'all. Bethune-Cookman is going to win the Florida Classic.
Oh,
is that a bold take, or is that going to go back to the Bethune-Cookman whooping everybody's tail?
Wait,
I mean, that's a bold.
Repeat that for me, so what you said?
Easy. I said Bethune-Cookman will win the Florida Classic. And I also have another hot take for you guys. Alabama A&M will be FAMU as well.
What?
Yes.
Hold on now. Hey man, I can't be having no heart attacks at work, bro.
Alabama A&M will beat Florida A&M.
Dang! Did you hear that, Mr. Campbell? Did you hear that, Uncle Bundles?
He said that ain't
happening.
Did
you hear that?
He said that ain't happening.
Okay.
Zoe said, hot take. Bethune-Cookman is going to win the Florida Classic. And Alabama A&M is going to beat FAMU. Wow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I got FAMU. Actually have FAMU finishing with a 7-5 record.
Ooh, what other teams you got them losing to? It's on wax. Are you putting this on wax? So,
I mean, we're on airways, right? Y'all can clip this. Y'all can clip this all day. You can go be my guest. Go ahead and clip it. I'm dead serious. Alabama A&M will be FAMU, and Bethune-Cookman will win the Florida Classic. I got FAMU finished with a 7-5 record.
Boy, Mr. Campbell got up on here so damn quick.
you know, I had to call in because I was sitting up here watching. You know, I just got off the plane from Chicago, and I was minding my business, and I love everything Zoe. And then Zoe clearly got that fifth of Hennessy next to him and took one more shot too much to open his mouth. You know, I'm gonna let him have the Bethune game. You know, I'm gonna let him have that. But for him to sit up and dare say that Alabama A&M is gonna beat us in Tallahassee. So Zoe, okay, so I'm gonna play devil's advocate then, okay? Since you're gonna do this game about your quarterback. And I'm not, listen, I've already been on record. I already said the SWAC championship is 10-19-24. So I don't want to get into that, okay? But I am gonna say this. Your quarterback, when he started, played the three worst teams in the SWAC. Did he not? UAPB, Valley, and Texas Southern. And you're going to then base that on that and say, and then I can put that on anybody then. So see, so slow your horses when your quarterback played. His 3-game run was against the 3 worst teams. I'm telling you, I put any quarterback against that and they'll have a great run. What do you go? Throw 8-9 touchdowns against those 3 teams?
Well, that's not the only game he played, though. That's not the only 3 games he played, though. Yes, he won those games, but he also was playing good against Alcorn. He got hurt.
Okay, no. I said his 3. He played 3 games. I'm talking where he started. He started 4, right?
Mm-hmm.
3 of those games were against the worst teams in the SWAC. Now that's a fact.
That's right. Okay.
Oh, okay. So that's what I'm saying. So that's what I'm saying. We can do all of this, like you say, is because it's fun. It's July now, and it's all that. But let me tell you something, bro. If you want, I'll tell you this: whatever money that you got, you let me know what you want to bet, and I'll double it. That we won't lose Alabama A&M. Now that I know you won't take that bet.
Oh yeah, so you sound you got the entertainment with a good time.
Okay. Well, I tell you what, clip this because let me tell you what's so funny. I'm gonna take Zoe's money, and I'm gonna take Jay's white money, and I'm gonna buy some of them nice metallic orange helmets with all that money I'm about to win.
I tell you what.
And wait, and let me tell you something. And y'all remember. Let me tell you something. And Zoe got out of my bet the last time because let me tell you how good I am with my bet. I told Zoe last year that they wouldn't even score a touchdown. They scored 1, and I still gave them jokers 4 tickets because I said, see, that's how I would see. Even when I win, I still give. So if you want to bet, okay, I'm just letting you know. I don't listen.
See, I tell you what, I feel so good and so confident about this. You're gonna give me that orange and green helmet, and I'm gonna sip champagne out of this after I win that bet.
Listen, I will buy Jackson State. If we lose that, I will go buy them, bring them old school blue and red striped pants back for Jackson State on my cost. If that happens,
Okay,
you call TC that. Yeah, you call TC tell her that, because that's not happening. And so you the same guy, and you the same guy that I remember. What's the kid Brown? And y'all will have him the second coming to Steve McNair.
No, who said that? Who said
you did. All of y'all did.
No, it didn't.
The second coming to Steve McNair. I have that clip too, because I told y'all I went to the game.
You do not have that clip. See, now you're exaggerating.
So I went to the game and I called in because you all played South Carolina State. And I told that boy didn't throw past 3 yards. And I said, when we see y'all next week, which we did that following week, I said, he's not going to do that. So y'all had that boy come to see, listen, man, Zoe, I love you. And you know you my guy. But, bro, you can't get on here and tell these folks that Alabama A&M is going to be FAMU and Tallahassee. Even the people that don't like me in this chat, and they know who they are, can't even go for that, man.
Steve, I'm gonna tell you like this now. See, you forget about how it was when that Tesla was breaking down on you now. So you forget how that was.
No. I don't forget that.
You won last year, but you forget the prior when the Tesla broke down.
No. So wait a minute, hold on. I've always said, hold on. Let's be clear. We broke down. We lost 59-3, but I tell you what, ain't nobody else from the SWAC that they beat us.
Well, I can't worry about nobody from the SWAC.
Okay, so you're talking about, so wait a minute, so let's be clear. You said not Jackson State, you said Alabama A&M, which is another team for the SWAC. It's going to be FAMU and FAMU.
Hold on. That was prior to the year of our Lord 2024. So right here on July 2nd, in the year of our Lord 2024, Zodalori has said Alabama A&M is going to tap that ass in Tallahassee.
Hey, man, listen, your debit card do not have enough money in the account to make this bet. I'm just telling you. Don't do it, Zoe. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Guess what?
So we're gonna put 50 on the boards now.
See, guess what? Since you said that, after I win this bet, I'm gonna have just the right amount of money on my debit card after I win this bet.
Listen, you know what this reminds me of, Timona? You remember when I think Willie, what's the boy name that Jeff Lightly, right? You remember him? And Willie came on his show, and Willie said self-inflicted.
Right,
yeah, and I called in and I said we're gonna let our snake hang. I'm gonna tell you this again. I called in and I'm gonna say this again. Alabama A&M, Zoe has done the worst thing. Now I'm gonna tell you all of that. We are going to do the reservation in Zoe's name for that U-Haul truck, just for Zoe. Because Zoe is going to, matter of fact, Zoe is going to pay for the U-Haul truck for the reservation for the money that I'm going to win. So what we're going to do is, I want you to give half the money to me, and I'm going to buy the new helmets, and then we're going to get the other half to Maynard so he can get his U-Haul truck. So we putting 50 on them.
After I get this bet, we get a U-Haul, I promise you, I'm going to give me a Steve Campbell fathead to put on that U-Haul when we ride down there. I'm telling you, Alabama A&M is going to tap FAMU, dog. Langford gonna have a field day against FAMU.
Okay. All right. Now I'm gonna tell you something. So listen. There's another bet that I have with Jay White, and I already told them they're only going to win 2 SWAC games, and I already feel good about that. Just by you coming on here on July 2nd, 2024, 11:35 p.m. Eastern time, I even feel even better about that bet. I even feel even better about that bet because you know better. You know better.
I'm trying to tell you.
You are a SWAC historian like me. You know better.
I'm trying to tell you, Langford is going to have a field day on the snakes, dog.
Okay. All right. Yep. All right. We lost 2 SWAC games the whole year in 3 years, and it's been 2 Jack State super teams.
Well, you're gonna probably have 3 SWAC losses this year.
Okay. Well, it won't be the Alabama A&M like that. I can guarantee you.
Well, it's gonna be Alabama A&M, Jack State, and somebody else.
Okay. All right. Like I said, I got to call you. I got to call you this week so we can get that. Because you know what? Let me tell you something. Not only, I definitely got to call you this week because we got to get that space for the game, and I'm going to make sure that I have a big billboard with the directions to Alabama A&M, so the U-Haul truck knows how to get there at that Jackson stage.
Steve, now I'm telling you now, this is being recorded. Somebody could make a lot of yourself now. That's what I have no direction. Because look,
I've been on record for 3 years. Listen, man, as soon as y'all jumped on YouTube, I've been right here with y'all.
Listen, the same direction that I'm gonna need to go down to Tallahassee, the same direction gonna be when they leave Tallahassee with that dub headed back to Huntsville now.
I'm gonna say, all you Jackson State people, if y'all want to follow this clip with Zoe, I will take all y'all bets too. So I will take all 100 y'all bets. If y'all want to bet like Zoe, please call me. My number is public. My email, text message, smoke signal, it don't matter. However you want to leave it, EBT, whatever you want to do. I'll take all y'all money.
I tell you what. Come October, you're gonna be calling me Zostradamus.
You know, I'm gonna tell you something. So you know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of Mike and his chicken wing bet. And we had to go get line was a credit for Mike and all this stuff because he could not afford the debt that he caused himself. We're making these bets.
Listen, Mike Reed. Look,
they said you put your Escalade up.
Look,
listen. I ain't even that. That ain't even a blink. That ain't even a blink. I put my mama's card for that. That's how big it is. Come on, man. Yeah, this man said Alabama A&M. This man said Alabama A&M. Gonna be FAMU and Tallahassee.
Don't put your mama cob now. You gonna mess around. I'm gonna be driving to the bingo, Steve.
Okay, listen. Emmett, let me tell you. Hold on. Emmett, let me tell you what the crime report's gonna be. Because what's gonna happen is we're gonna find out this person on the phone is an imposter. This is actually not Zoe. That's what we're gonna find out. It's somebody impersonating Zoe, and Zoe is locked up in a basement somewhere, shaking his head like, "Please do not speak on my name." I already know what it is.
I'm telling you, look, y'all gonna be hot as fish grease when the clock strikes midnight. Alabama A&M got that dub in Tallahassee. Man, listen, y'all gonna be like, I know damn well Zoe done called this shit back in July. I know damn well.
So I heard the same stuff. The best recruiting class, deepest team. Jackson State gonna run it back 7-4. So I ain't worried about your predictions. So we already know what your predictions are. I'm not worried about your predictions.
Hold on. Now, you say you're not worried about my predictions. Now, going by my math, I ain't the sharpest knife in the draw, but I was right the previous 2 years. You got that. Well, yeah. Listen, you have enough. And I didn't pick it. Whoa. Bro, it don't take a rocket science. You got a quarterback that might be the first pick in the draft. Hold on. That didn't take a rocket science to pick that. So look, for any FAMU one, they got.
Did you pick last year?
I was wrong. Hold on, I'm gonna talk to that. See, I look at any FAMU one that want to say anything to me about the game from last year. I equate all of y'all to garbage cans. Because even a garbage can get a steak. Y'all got y'all steak last year. Now we back to our regular schedule program. Y'all got y'all steak last year.
We've been in the conference. We've been in the conference for 3 years. We've only lost 2 games. We've only lost 2. We've only lost 2. We've only lost 2.
How many times you beat Jackson State y'all been in the conference?
We beat y'all once.
Okay then.
But guess who's in those 3 years? You know who's won the most conference games? Us. In them 3 years.
What you got to show for it?
We Celebration Bowl, something that y'all don't know what it looked like. I'm glad you asked that. Something that y'all don't know what that means. A Celebration Bowl. We got that. We got that. Wait. No. We have So we have an HBCU Celebration Bowl championship.
Wait. Y'all are forgetting.
Yeah, we didn't lose the team that we were supposed to lose to in the Celebration Bowl with 8 million people watching.
See, at the end of the day, guess what? You got one dub against Jackson State. You got the state.
No, listen, I'm not even worried about that. I already told everybody. 10-19-24 is for the SWAC championship. Whoever win that game is going to win the Celebration Bowl. What I'm telling you is you said Alabama A&M. That's what we're talking about. We ain't talking about Jackson State and FAMU.
For sure.
You said Alabama A&M. You are putting your good name.
No. You got to say it right. I said Bama A&M and Bethune-Cookman.
No. I'm listening. You know what? No, listen. I'm not going to even entertain that. No, you know what? I told you, I will let you slide with Bethune-Cookman. I'm going to let you slide. We're not going to lose Bethune-Cookman either. Because if we can double that, I'll take all your money. Because see, what the problem with it is, if I take that money, you won't have no money for the Alcorn game. So I don't want to do you like that.
Mr. Campbell, somebody in the chat wants to know, do you take WIC for bets?
Listen. I take WIC. I take them bad checks from State Street. It don't matter. I'll get somebody cash. It don't matter on this bet. Scammers, I'll take Dillard scammers. It don't matter. Whatever y'all want.
That man say he from North Jackson. He'll take.
Bro, listen. Meet me on State Street with your trunk open. I'll take all of that. I'll take all of that because Zoe is talking crazy.
Ain't talking crazy.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Y'all. Yeah. Like I say, clip this. Because, like I said, I remember Zoe because like you said last year, we didn't know, and now you don't know again. So we didn't know. Remember, that's what y'all said. We didn't know. They don't know. So we don't know again.
Nah, y'all don't know, but I do.
Okay. All right. Alabama A&M. Hey, Timona, can you pull up that date? Can you pull up the schedule real quick and just tell me what the date of that game is?
Okay.
Because we need to just have just an after show just for Zoe.
Carlos, you don't know me too well. This is what I do. I'm a coach at this.
A connoisseur.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Two North Jackson dudes going at it.
That's why I can't even believe that he would even disrespect me like that. His aunt like that. I would let that. I could understand the Bethune-Cookman slander because I understand why because Bethune-Cookman put a scare in y'all last year. Because let me tell you something. So y'all had to do a whole nother show with Bethune-Cookman for the scare in y'all last so bad. I remember that show.
Look, that I ain't got nothing to say about last season. We're gonna be 10-2.
Okay.
We're 10-2.
Okay.
10-2. Y'all gonna be 75. But look, I'm telling you, Alabama A&M got something. Myles gonna run off.
Okay.
Myles gonna run out over Alabama. I'm over FAMU.
Okay. All right. Maynard might not even be coaching that game by the time we play them.
Maybe not.
Okay. All right. Well, y'all heard it. That Alabama A&M that will probably go 3-9 is going to be FAMU in Tallahassee.
You didn't say they were going winless. You did say 3-9.
No, listen. They're going to be Valley and they're going to be UAPB. I'm already on record on that. That's all they're going to be. Yeah. Okay. All right.
Wax. That's on wax.
Hey, hold on. So, Steve, let me get you on record. What FAMU record going to be next year?
I told y'all. We listen. We're gonna lose to Miami and we're gonna lose to Troy and we're gonna run it again because we only got a 1-game schedule. That's y'all.
Okay.
We got a 1-game schedule. We ain't losing. We're not losing to Alabama State. I ain't worried about that. And everybody else that's good got to come to us.
I'm gonna tell you like this: you're gonna lose to JSU. You're gonna lose to Bethune-Cookman.
Okay.
You're gonna lose to Prairie View.
Okay. Yep. All right.
75.
Okay. Yeah, okay. I got you. That sound like what y'all record was last year. Okay, but we ain't got no talent. FAMU has no talent. We have no talent. We ain't got no. We don't have nobody. We done lost everybody. We done lost Willie. We ain't got no coaches.
So basically, what you're saying is the only way you lose because you ain't got no talent. You're gonna lose with talent. You're gonna lose with talent. You got talent.
We ain't got no. We ain't got we don't have any talent. Because if we can't have any talent, there's no way you think if we got talent, we'll lose to Alabama A&M. So we can't have any talent. What's that game? What's that? What is that? September? Was that 20th? 20? What is that? What does that say? 28?
This dude said, "Fam, you're gonna beat Troy."
No, we're not gonna beat Troy. We're gonna play them close though.
That boy said, "Fam, you're gonna beat Troy."
September 28th.
So
who did Jack play? Who
A&M game is after school.
I did not. I've never seen a black person do crystal meth before.
So
who does Jack State play? Y'all play Southern on the 28th. Who does Jack State play on the 28th?
On the 28th, we played Texas Southern.
Oh, y'all play Texas Southern. Okay.
Yeah,
so good. So who do y'all play on the 28th?
In September?
Yeah.
Southern.
Okay, perfect. Okay, because y'all gonna have that big old show, and y'all gonna have like 9,000 people on, and the mass meeting is gonna be rocking, and I'm gonna call in there and collect my money on your show. So that's beautiful. That's beautiful.
That ain't happening.
I'm gonna call in. I want when Ken drop that link.
You gonna call everybody,
and you need to tell Ken, say, Ken, this is my fault. We supposed to be talking about Southern, but I was around here put my mouth out here, and I gotta let Steve come on here so I can give him his money.
You gonna call in and get that PN number?
Okay. All right. And y'all, and like I said, listen, like I said, I got y'all beating Southern, but y'all better not lose to Southern zone. Y'all better not. Let me tell you the worst. Let me tell you the worst thing could happen to you is y'all lose to Southern, and which we're going to destroy Alabama. And that could be one of the worst weekends of your life.
Man, no, I'm not. Look, I ain't worried about no beige bass. We ain't talking about them. You gonna really bring up Southern?
All right, you gonna bring up Alabama A&M? That's the insult. That's the same. That's even a worse insult because at least Southern's a better team than Alabama A&M.
No, they ain't. No, they ain't. Not really.
Okay.
They're gonna be equal share.
Lord. Equal share. Southern folks, Southern folks, y'all better get in on this bet. Y'all might be able to get that parlay. Y'all better get in on that Zoe parlay and give you some money.
I might need to run a parlay.
Yeah.
I just might need to run a parlay.
Okay. Well, like I said, I'll be calling in on the mass meeting. I'm not gonna take up too much of your time because I know y'all ain't gonna want to hear what I got to say.
Cause look, I could put in low, but the yielding is real high in Florida. I might need to do that.
Okay. All right. Okay. I hear you. September 28th, boy. It's gonna look good when I call Coach Cozy with them new helmets.
Okay.
That is right. Yep, he said it. He said Alabama.
What the hell was going to say? 237?
Listen, whatever they need to say, man, we don't care. As long as it say W, that's what it's gonna say. It's gonna say W. It's gonna say W237. That's all that counts. It don't matter to me. We don't care about that, man. We don't worry about that. It's gonna say W237.
The only W I know is the Western.
It's gonna be the W237. I appreciate that, man, because I was like, man, I'm gonna have to spend a lot of money for this FAMU Jackson State game, and so you done damn near have to gonna help me halfway pay for it right there. So Timona, so it ain't me sponsoring no more. It's gonna be Zoe.
No, it ain't. I'm telling y'all, I'm gonna be unbearable about that. But when them 4-0 hit that score, Alabama and them gonna have one more point more than them. I'm gonna be unbearable.
So don't do this to yourself.
I tell you what, I feel so good about it that literally next week I'm gonna start me a new LLC and I'm gonna get me the 1-900 number.
Okay, all right. Well, you should. You should. Well, all I know is that Coach Cozy is coming to Atlanta, I think July 21st, and I'm going to make sure I record a video and I'll say, Coach, I have a nephew in Jackson that is going to sponsor some helmets for us.
I'm going to get a 1-900 number, and look, I'm Miss Cleo's nephew. Social numbers, I keep it real.
Okay, Timon, you heard it. Like I say, I tell you one thing, ain't nobody else going to go off on that cliff with Zoe. I guarantee you that. Alabama
this is the game of the century. Like what?
Oh man, I can't. So
that's the
Alabama
game of the century right there.
Alabama A&M. Whoo, man. Wow. I mean, I wasn't going to even call it. I was just a good show, just listening, breaking down the quarterbacks and everything. But oh man, I thought Jerome Brooks was Zoe.
I tell you what, after this season, you won't be saying, man, we only lost one game in cuff.
Okay. All right.
But to have a whole new stick. But to have a whole new stick after this season.
Okay. All right. Okay. I gotta say, I'm not gonna say nothing. I just go sit back and watch the wins pile up. Because like I say, we got one game. 10-19-24. That's all I'm gonna keep saying. Everybody else, we're gonna handle our business.
Also, get ugly for y'all in Jackson too, dog. You already know this, dude.
Okay, all right, get ugly. Okay. All right, listen, man. Well, I'm gonna make sure. Like, listen, it was really good. People, I already told people, like I said, from Atlanta, they're coming over. They really want to come to Jackson. They've never been to Jackson. I'm gonna make sure they understand Jackson is one of the best places to watch a football game.
And Doc, who does FAMU play the week before they play us?
Bama State.
We no. Before we play Jackson State, we got a bye week, just like y'all got a bye week. Everybody know what it is, dude. Everybody know what the game is. Don't play with us. Just like guess what y'all got a bye week too.
Even before the bye week, they do play Alabama State before the bye week.
Yeah, and that's when we're gonna ruin Alabama State season. That's what I'm saying.
You gonna ruin that season?
Yeah, because that's their homecoming. And like I said, once they lose that game, that's it.
Hey, that ain't what everybody's saying. Everybody right here saying body gonna body y'all.
Okay. Well, everybody said body gonna beat y'all too. Well, but one thing we did know, they didn't have Andrew Body beat y'all last year.
You stuck. You really stuck on last season. I ain't said nothing about last year.
You stuck on the seat. Well, listen, I can only stick on what I saw. So yeah, I'm stuck on something I saw. So you stuck on something that you don't know.
No, that ain't all you saw. So you want to choose to stay on a certain point of what you saw, because that ain't all you saw.
I can listen. You asked me a question. You said, what have we gotten? You said we got one conference championship. I saw HBCU national championship. You said we stuck on that. So all I know is Alabama State ain't beat us. Listen, what is to be true? Has Alabama State beaten us since we've been to SWAC, or have they beaten y'all since we've been to SWAC?
Would it be true? Well, I mean, Jack State tapped their ass twice. I know that to be true.
Yeah, I got you. Okay, well, like I said, y'all on a one-game losing streak now. So, got to go in there and win that game. But I said, we're going to help y'all out anyway, because we're going to beat them, so it ain't going to matter.
That ain't all you saw. You saw that 59-3 up close in person.
Yeah, I sure did. I saw it, and I also saw being in Atlanta 2 years in a row, spending $500 for a ticket, and my Jackson State Tigers getting beat by two teams they shouldn't have lost to. So I seen that too.
Hold on, and then you saw the L before that, and you saw the L before that, and you saw the L before that. I've seen probably what they played 10 times. The only games I haven't seen the ones in the 60s. I wasn't born. I've seen the rest of them. Wins and losses. So listen. I said, listen. I have been very adamant about the respect that I said. The two best teams are Jackson State and FAMU, 10-19, 24, point blank period. So we can move on from that. But you said that we're going to lose to Alabama A&M. That's what this conversation is about. Yeah.
That's what this conversation is about.
Yeah.
Period.
Yes.
You know what? And let me tell you something. And so you know what we probably do. So you know what? This is what I want you to do for me too. When you lose that bet, I need you to sponsor Timona's next hair purchase, because she can get ready. I can use your money to get her ready for the Jack State game. So you can even sponsor her hair for that too. So just go and add all that in there. You know what I'm saying? Just go and add all that in there. Okay. Since you so confident.
Dang, you're making a big bet, Mr. Campbell. That's a big bet.
Listen. He don't want to listen. This man said Alabama.
Your Escalade too.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you something. I'm older than so. I've been watching the SWAC. I'm not worried about Alabama A&M beating FAMU in Tallahassee. That's what the bet is. I'm not worried about that.
Right.
Just like he confident with his 10-2. Just like what he said? What he just said that y'all were gonna beat ULM, right?
Oh, for sure.
Confidence. It's gonna happen. For sure. Oh, guaranteed. So I feel the same way about us beating Alabama A&M.
I tell you what, I'm so sure about it. You know how I'm comfortable in Tallahassee. I go there and kick my feet up because we win every time I go down there. And you know what? In my lifetime, I'm 45 years old. I ain't seen FAMU beat Jack State that many times in my life.
Well, yeah, you probably in your lifetime we're 2 and 3, probably. That's probably about right. Yeah, we beat y'all twice. Y'all beat us 4 times. So you're 2 and 4.
No.
Yeah, 4 times. Yeah, that's right.
No,
y'all didn't. Listen. I know. Listen, you won because we beat y'all. We lost in Jackson, and we lost 3 times, and 2 in Miami and 1 ever. We won the 2 games before that.
Nope. You beat us in. I'm gonna tell you, I've only seen 3 FAMU losses in my life. That's it. 3.
I just said you. I guarantee you. I saw you 2 because I know the 2 you could have saw. I just said that.
We lost in Indianapolis.
Exactly.
We lost in '98.
I was at that game.
And we lost last year. That's it. That's it, Pimpin.
And we've only played. Those the only time we played, though. In your lifetime.
No, wrong. We came to Tallahassee, tapped that ass in '95. I was there. We beat.
No, you didn't beat us in '95. Where am I look that up? Because that was Billy Joe's year.
We came down there. We beat them in '95. We beat y'all in 14. We beat y'all in 18. We beat you in. Who was on the 4
I
game?
just said that you won 4. You won 4. I know the 4 you won. That's what I just told you. Yeah, you won 4. I know that. And I was in Indianapolis when we beat y'all. But that ain't the bet. It doesn't matter. That ain't the bet.
Damn, we had our worst. Tony Hughes and Harold Jackson. Woo. Yeah. Lord have mercy.
Yeah, it's fine. That ain't the bet. The man said that ain't the that's not the bet. The bet is the man said Alabama A&M. There's people that's gonna have a U-Haul truck backed up.
Nah, they're gonna have a U-Haul truck. They're gonna be ready to fire codes at everybody.
Okay. All right.
Y'all gonna be ready to get codes at everybody. They lose to Alabama A&M.
No, you said Cozy better not lose that winning streak in FAMU.
FAMU's not losing to Alabama, and I ain't worried about that. Cozy ain't worried about that either.
Okay.
And after I go down and after I play this video, after you clip this and send this to me, and I play this for the team, we definitely not gonna worry about it.
I say you need some extra ammunition, man. Y'all better not let
whatever it takes. It don't matter, man. Listen. Whatever it takes, bro. Listen, we all we care about win. We don't care what it. Listen, if your mama came and said, "Fam, you ain't done," we'll clip that too. We'll clip that. We will clip that too.
Steve, like, look, I made a bet. Y'all asked me, I let Alabama come in here and beat y'all ass.
Bro, listen. I tell you what, I'm more. You better be more worried about Southern than me worried about Alabama A&M on that day.
Man, ain't nobody worried about no baby.
Hey, Mr. Campbell.
From Red
Mr. Campbell.
Yeah.
Do you remember back in 2002, the best kept secret in college football transferred to y'all school?
Who was that?
Casey Prentice.
Oh yeah.
Did we play y'all in 2002?
Only time I remember, because Zoe was saying 95. That game was in Tallahassee, Zoe?
Yes, sir.
I remember that game. I remember everyone but that one.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll give you that one. I remember that everyone. I was in Atlanta then. I don't remember that.
Won that one.
Okay. All right. I listen. I ain't got no argument. I'm not arguing that. Look at like you said. That's in the past. That's history. Is history. I'm with history, but I know history said that Alabama A&M is not beating us in Tallahassee.
Their history, their future, their current. You saying it?
Listen.
The future, the past.
Jake Gaither will come out the grave before Alabama A&M beats us and coach that game. That's not happening. No, Freddie G. No, Freddie G. I'm just telling you. It's a lot of people that are going. Listen, bro, we ain't bringing no 30,000 people to Jackson. I mean, that's not happening. Because it's not. But it's going to be a good, nice crowd of people that want to come to Jackson to see the vet. A lot of people have seen it on TV. They want to see it in person. So I'm telling you what I know, and that's good. That's good for the SWAC. And and this ain't no secret. I used to tell people all the time when I was at FAMU. I used to bring people back to Jackson all the time because I used to say this ain't HBCU football. Y'all ain't seen that because nobody would be at the games, and I would bring them to Jackson all the time. So it ain't no secret. Like I say, Jackson said, hey, listen, there's no doubt about it. That's why people want to come to the event and see it. It's gonna be a good game.
They want to see the Rattlers get their head cut off.
Well, like I say, last time we were in Jackson, like I say, did that Hail Mary, that boy threw that ball and didn't even make it to the end zone and bounced up 10 yards. That's the last time we were in Jackson.
I got two temperature brains. Yeah.
Who was the coach? Who was the coach then, though, for that game?
95.
No. 2000. What was that? 2001 when the Hail Mary game. Last time we played in Jackson. Harold Jackson, yeah. That was crazy.
Wasn't that one of our worst coaches in Jackson history?
Yeah. But let me tell y'all a secret. This was so funny about revisionist history, and Zoe knows this. When people talking about FAMU alumni was not letting the AD do the job, it was y'all alumni that wanted Harold Jackson. Them old heads.
No, it wasn't their alumni. They weren't their old alumni. It was a specific group. It wasn't old head alumni though. It was a specific group.
Yeah, it was the alumni old heads.
No. I'm telling you, it was.
Okay.
It was a specific group, and it was a specific person. God rested the head. I'm telling you.
Okay. All right. All I'm saying is the alumni had no problem with that hire. The old ones, not the young ones. People my age are like, what the hell y'all doing?
Tell you.
All right. Okay. Well, I'm good. Listen, I'm good. I'm happy because man, I'm gonna get some extra money. Family, gonna get some extra helmets. You know, I appreciate it. Damn, Zoe, I appreciate that. I wasn't even expecting that come up.
You gonna be sick, dog.
Golly, boy.
We gonna go back and my butt up in the morning. I'll get up with y'all later, man.
Right.
Stop drinking, Zoe.
Deuces.
Stop drinking. Stop drinking.
Mr. Campbell.
Listen, y'all heard it here. I know Zoe is one of y'all mass meeting leaders. I love him and Ken. Everybody knows that. But I'm sorry. I don't know what that was tonight. Because y'all can't even stay. He can't even stay at a bit. I know that's not so. I'm going to call him after this. And I'm like, bro, why are you trolling these folks like that? I'm not going to even, you know what's so fun? I'm not going to take Zoe's money like that. I'm not going to even do it. Because he can't be in his right mind. There's no way he can be in his right mind to make this bet.
Okay, so Mr. Campbell, from the time that he said FAMU is going to lose to Alabama A&M, to you clicking the StreamYard and getting on here, it had to been a world record. It had to have been a world record. It wasn't even, I don't even think it was 15 seconds.
Listen,
listen.
I was not. Listen. You see, I was not going to listen. He said about the Bethune-Cookman. I was going to let that ride. But the fact that this is not Fox News here. We got to tell the truth here. Zoe cannot be coming on this channel saying no crazies like this. Come on, man. This is Zoe Phillips, a well-respected SWAC Jack State historian. He knows better than that. And somebody just said, which I knew I wasn't crazy. Somebody just said in the chat that game was 15. Jay still lost. I knew I wasn't crazy. I thought we won that game 15-12. I'm gonna say no, you know what he's talking about. I went to listen. Anybody that knows Jack State FAMU is me, because I was probably at all those games. I'm like, I don't remember that Billy Jones. We had a bomb squad that team that year, '95, if I remember correctly.
I have never seen you got on the panel so quick. I'm trying to figure out how did
I had to because that man is betting me easy money. Easy money.
So that would be FAMU's first loss in Tallahassee in like 5 years, 4 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. To Alabama, out of all the people, Alabama A&M. Damn. I would have more respect. If he would have said South Carolina State. Honestly, I would have had more respect if he would have said, but he cannot Alabama A&M. Come on, man. Really? No better than that.
I like that hot take. That was like
that take was DD hot. That wasn't even no stove hot. That was something you need to go to the doctor and see what's wrong with you hot. Man, that man said Alabama A&M. Is going to beat us. Whew, man.
I did say y'all going to have South Carolina State beat y'all at home.
Listen, you know what? I'm going to tell you something. I probably would have just let that slide. If he would have said that, I probably would have just let that slide. But I'm just saying, out of all the teams on our schedule, the only other team he could have said was Valley. That would have made me call in. And I might not even call in if he said Valley. But Alabama A&M, that's easy money right there. Man, I'm going to call. You know what's so funny about how easy that money is? I'm going to call Thick 36 and have her to come to Atlanta because we're going to dinner on Zoe money. I'm going to fly her in on Zoe's money the following weekend.
Dang.
Yeah, I'm going to fly her. Yeah, I'm gonna fly her in. I'm gonna get the Escalade washed all nice, cause Zoe's gonna send me the money after the mass meeting, and I'm gonna tell her, say, let's come on down here and let's hang out. So
Lord,
I'm just saying.
that them saying that Alabama A&M is gonna beat y'all in Tallahassee.
Come on,
you might have to if you guys lost in Tallahassee, you might have to extend Maynard's contract just off of that alone.
No, Maynard. Let me tell you something. Maynard beats family. He would definitely keep his job. I'm telling you that right now. Come on, man. Really? That's not happening. That is not happening. That is not happening.
And Jay White wanted to clarify, your bet is t-shirts. Just
no, I know, no, yeah. Jay White was Jay White ain't crazy. He know not to extend himself.
Yeah. So
yeah, he was. That's why I had no problem with it. This man talking money.
Yeah, cash
and I cash money. And I probably, like I said, over the 3 years, I have probably won close to $3,000 in SWAC bets.
Dang.
Number 500 in.
Dang, you rolling in the dough with those. You said you've been making your donations straight to.
Listen, it's straight. I don't even blink. Let me tell you something. It's a good, nice little ride. I have my little thing, and they tell me thank you, and I be like, they ain't even my money. That's what I'm saying. I don't even keep the money. That's what I'm saying. I don't make the bets. Because I don't, like I said, I love bets like that. I said, let's donate it to the school. You know what I'm saying? Let's donate to the school. And everybody from Jackson knows because I called in. And I still bought them tickets, them homecoming tickets. I didn't lose that bet. And I was the one that was coming out the money. They wouldn't even call. All I told Zoe was just to say that we didn't know. And he didn't even do that right. Because he was supposed to do when I was on there, he didn't do it. And I still let him slide. It's all good. But he gonna pay this money on this. I'm gonna tell you that right now. He paying this money. Matter of fact, I'm gonna make him come back on. I'm gonna make him come on this show, and I'm gonna make him come on this show and say, huh?
You want me to go ahead and clip it? Hot take.
Oh yeah. You definitely can clip that. Oh yeah, you definitely clip that because I got to put that in all the alumni groups, and I got to have that ready when Coach Cozy come to Atlanta so I can play that so he can hear that. Alabama A&M.
I got a question for y'all.
Golly.
So that remember the guy, they put that picture on Twitter. They was talking about the best college football atmosphere. And they had Jackson State that had the best college football atmosphere in the state of Mississippi. And then some guy named Pigskin Petey, I call him Pedophile Petey, got on there and said that it's basically Mississippi State, Ole Miss. What do y'all think about that?
Listen, bro. Listen, okay. I don't want what's the dude calling in talking about Kentucky Fried Chicken. I don't want him calling in this late at night talking about some Kentucky Fried Chicken and everything.
Oh,
but listen, it's not even, bro. I remember. Let me tell you something. Ole Miss and Mississippi State just started selling out their games, Doc. Over the last 10 years, just started. Alabama would come and they wouldn't even sell out Alabama. So, that's not. They don't even, like I say, man. Ole Miss, nobody go to them Ole Miss games. And what's so bad about the state of Mississippi? Half the white people in the state of Mississippi don't even root for the school. They be rooting for Alabama, LSU.
Oh,
that is true.
Come on, man. Let's keep it a buck, man. Stop it. Like I say, please, it's not even close, man. I tell you what, and this is what I'm saying. This is for all the old heads. It took Jackson State to sell out Southern Mississippi Stadium. And they didn't want to come back to Jackson the following year because they were like, oh, hell no. When they went down in 1987. It's not even close, man. It's not even close. It's not even close. You give me a top-notch Jackson State team, and they rocking and rolling, and they winning games compared to Mississippi State and Ole Miss, please. Stop it. That's not even close.
And then he said that he named two schools in FCS, said Montana and Montana State had brands, and he said our brand was there when Prime was the head coach. I just want to get y'all Opinion on that. And blue is right too. I did say I'd rather go to Alcorn. If I won that Jet State, I go tailgate at Alcorn. I go tailgate at Valley.
It's not even close, man. It's not even close. I mean, I'm sorry, it's not. Listen, I've been to every SEC stadium. I've been to every ACC stadium. I've been half of the Big 12 and probably all the big schools in the Big 10. Mississippi State, I'm gonna tell you something. There's only two atmospheres that are worse than Mississippi. Well, Mississippi State does not have a good atmosphere. They had them cowbells and all that, and Ole Miss is even worse because Ole Miss was losing, but they've been winning lately. But Vanderbilt is horrible. Vanderbilt sucks, and Kentucky. Those are the two. You can literally walk up there the day of the game, and somebody might give you a free ticket. Mississippi State and Ole Miss has years like that. Point blank, period. And I'm going to say something about this about Montana and Montana State. Here's what kills me about this. They are the flagship state school. What them fools got to do? It's the University of Montana. So they ain't got nothing to do but go to that game, or Montana State. So the fact that Jackson State even still outdraws them when they're not, quote unquote, the flagship state school, Montana is equal to being Ole Miss. I mean, it's just being honest, just like North Dakota State. They're the flagship school. So how are you going to compare a school, HBCU, that is under-resourced, underfunded, and still gets 30, 40, 50,000 people in a game to the state school, the University of Montana?
Not only get 30, 40,000 or even 50,000 people in the stands, you got over 100 people that we done put into the NFL. We got more Hall of Famers than both schools combined.
Bro, why do you think every award is named by HBCU and mostly SWAC people? That's what I'm saying. It's not even close. There's no tradition in any of those schools at the FCS level.
It's not. Is greater than the Egg Bowl.
It's a fact. I tell you what. Here's what I'll tell anybody. And this is and I could go something, but I'm just going to use this one game because people understand this. If you show me the Soul Bowl with McNair and Jackson State and show me how many people went to that game, I guarantee you Ole Miss and Mississippi State barely has ever had a game that packed and that hype. Ever.
Mama was at that game.
Ever. And I'm going to tell you the only game that ever came close to that between Ole Miss and Mississippi State is when Mississippi State was ranked number 1 and Ole Miss upset them. So they lost. Mississippi State went to Alabama and lost, but they had to play Ole Miss the next game to still go to the championship. Mm-hmm. And that's when it was. I think they played. I don't know. I think that game was at Ole Miss, and I think they had a whole bunch of people that game. It does not even compare to what Alcorn and Jack State was with McNair. It's not even close. And them Ole Miss people even know it.
Right.
The biggest Jack State games. And you say, if you show me the top 5 biggest Ole Miss games, and you show me the top 5 biggest Jack State games, I guarantee you Jack State will be 1. It would be 4 out of 5. And it would take. And you know what's crazy for Ole Miss? It would take somebody like an Alabama bomb squad, and this is Alabama, a top 2 brand in football, but they don't even do that. Jackson State has had 40, 50,000 people playing Texas Southern.
If we, that's the low end for us. So Texas Southern, even if it's between 35 and 42,000, then that's on the low end. We call that a wash. We don't like that. And it's still more.
Yeah, and that's what Blue was saying that Soul Bowl was $62K. And this is the thing about it. And again, it goes back, and I think somebody just said that. But here's the thing. They even had more people at the Valley Alcorn game in '84. They moved that game to a Sunday.
Yeah,
that's how crazy that game was. They had 63,000 that joint. I was at that game. I was at the McNair Jack State game. That was so funny because I had never seen McNair. I seen him on TV, and I was like, I drove from Atlanta that morning to Jackson because I was like, I got to see this kid in person, and I drove to that game.
What's so crazy though? Y'all can actually go watch that game, the '94 Soul Bowl. It's on YouTube, on Alex Hines' YouTube page. He has every game, almost every game up to 2022.
Wait, let me tell you a fun fact on that, Doc. Jackson State was the road game for that game. Alcorn was the home game. So Alcorn actually sat on the Jackson State side, which was hilarious. Because I don't think, and I'm trying to remember, and maybe the Jackson State people remember that, because they moved that game, because the game used to be home and home, then they moved it. I think that's when I went to college, they started playing it in Jackson every year. So you guys will know.
It was around the early 90s. So when I got to Jackson, it was called the Capital City Classic.
And it was always in Jackson?
It was always in Jackson.
Yeah, that was the first time. So that's what I'm saying. So that was the first time I had ever seen Jackson State on the opposite, as quote unquote, the visitor side ever in my life. And it was the weirdest ish I had ever seen in my life. It was crazy. Because it just didn't even look right. You know what I'm saying? And stuff. You had all these
visitors side?
Yeah, because it was Alcorn's home game. You had the flip flop. It was Alcorn's home game.
Dang.
Because it was a neutral site. They made it a neutral site game because basically Jackson State would be the home team, Alcorn be the away team for 1 year, and then we'll flip flop. Alcorn be the home team, Jackson would be the away team. It was you know what though? It was like that when we played Valley. We used to play Valley, and Valley used to come to the vet all the time. And it was a series for that. And it was 1 year that we was the away team and Valley was the home team.
Now you know what that you said that they did. Now that's interesting. You know what I'm thinking, and this again, they moved that Valley game to Jackson when they played Jackson State that year when they had the Satellite Express. And I'm wondering, did Jackson State play? I'm gonna have to ask my friends about that. Did they move Jackson State on the other side? I don't think so for that game though. But I don't think so. Even though they moved that game from Valley and moved it to Jackson. I don't think Jackson State moved to the other side.
Yeah, but remember, Jackson and Valley have been playing didn't play at Valley for like 20 years.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is, but Valley never sat on Jackson State side. That's what I'm saying. They never did, even when it was their game.
I'm gonna tell you, Mr. Campbell, it was 1 year. I think it was my sophomore. It was either my freshman or sophomore year. We played Valley. Valley was on the home side because they was the home team.
Yeah, so when y'all so now we going down a rabbit hole. So I guess I'm asking another question because somebody just. So when y'all played that Boombox Classic those 3 years, so Southern always just sat on the visitor side, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. That's what I thought. Yeah. Because it's very rare. Like I said, the only two times that I saw, because I don't even think Jackson State stayed on the other side when Jerry Rice was there. But I know they definitely could. Like I say, it was McNair's last game, and Alcorn was the home game. So that I do know. But nah, bro. So nah, it's man. I hear that. But you know why I always ask these people that say these polls and stuff. And I guess the question always is, have they ever been to a Jackson State game? And I guarantee 9 out of 10 times they have not. Because you can't, if you go to and Blues probably gone, but I have been up to Boise. I've been to Georgia Southern and all the Louisiana Tech. I don't know if you guys, Louisiana Tech used to be 1AA. Jackson State used to play them all the time in the playoffs and stuff like that. Been down there and all that. Man, you go to them schools like that, it's Troy. I've been all that, and you just be like, this ain't nothing. This ain't nothing. So no, I don't think they've been to I would dare say if you give me again Montana versus Montana State, right, which would be a war because it would be the whole state, and you give me a top-notch Jackson State Alcorn game, it's not going to be close because it's still going to be done 20 more thousand people. Because how much does the Montana Stadium hold? What, 30,000? So they couldn't even put 50,000 in if they tried.
Yeah, it only hold like 30,000.
Yeah, so they wouldn't even know what that looks like.
No, Montana holds 30,000.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So how would they even know what 50,000 looks like if they never done it? So how can you say this is a better environment when somebody has gone to 50 to 60,000, and it's all black people, okay? Which is the most incredible thing in the world. All black people. That's incredible. I tell you what, all y'all that's voting in this poll for Alabama A&M, feel free to bet me. feel free to bet me. Feel free to bet me. See, I like how they do their little side shade in the poll. Let me pull this poll out just a little side. How do I open this poll up again? So it is 60-40 with, I'm sorry, with Fairview beat Alabama A&M. Oh, okay, no, I thought I read it wrong. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. But even the people, the 39% that even say Alabama A&M, I guess that's Jay White and his crew. Let it go, man. Yeah,
let me see. So I'm gonna do our ending for our poll. The first poll that we had was the preseason quarterback poll. Jacobian Morgan won with 68% of the vote. Myles Crawley was in second place with 14%. Antibody was 13%, and Avion was 3%. There was 222 votes completed. Our last poll of the night is: will FAMU beat Alabama A&M, or is Alabama A&M going to hand y'all a scooter?
No. You know what you need to do? You need to put up another poll. Do you think that Zoe was drinking tonight? That's another poll I need you to put up. Come on, man. I want to see what that is.
Oh, my goodness. So that's the last poll of the night. Mr. Campbell, thank you so much for coming up. Doc, as always. And Mr. Ford came up here, and Jay, and of course we had none other than Zoe coming up here shaking things up for the night. I had a good time tonight, okay? And guess what?
It was a great show. You did a great job.
Those clips will be coming.
Listen, I can't wait.
You can't wait.
We're gonna play that. We're gonna play that clip. That whole Alabama A&M week. We're gonna play that clip.
Hey, I got so much time on my hand after tonight. I am off until like Sunday, so I'm gonna do a show tomorrow, but I'm gonna be going back through my thing and doing some clipping because there's some takes that I got that I even laugh at myself.
Yeah, you gotta go ahead and clip it on up, and then y'all take some time out. Didn't nobody invite me to the barbecue?
I ain't getting invited to no barbecue.
Some potato salad. Dang, I'm supposed to be on a diet. I need a nice barbecue salad.
You know what?
Barbecue and put it on.
You know what?
I need a barbecue salad, y'all.
I should have waited till Thursday, but I made some baby back ribs with some brown sugar and some apple, like the apple filling for the topping. Mm-hmm. Man, I had that bust. Ate the whole. Took me about 3 days.
Mr. Campbell, it's not looking good for your poll.
Listen, all I'm saying is put your money where your mouth is.
It's 50 votes so far. Go ahead and get y'all votes in.
Get your votes in. Get your votes in so I can clip all that.
Alabama, it's not allowing me to vote.
Let me tell you what's so funny. Alabama A&M ain't had this many people voted for them in God knows how long.
Why would you say that?
I'm just saying.
Contrary to most people's belief, over here we have a collective opinion. Okay.
All right. Well, like I say, all I got to say is the FAMU Athletic Fund is open. Feel free to sponsor it like Zoe. You too could be a sponsor. Avis Heath has been a sponsor. Kedron from Southern's been a sponsor. Who else? Man, all them Southern people. I mean, got so much money from Southern people.
Got Coach Walker up in the house.
Southern people.
Hey, we got Coach Walker in the house.
Southern people always want to bet me.
They ain't learned their lesson yet.
They have not, and I don't like I say they have not. But the fact that Zoe said Alabama A&M, and see, I didn't want to take Zoe double money because, like I say, but I'm gonna see if I can get them to bet me the Bethune-Cookman game too, because we can use that money for the SWAC championship.
Dang. Yeah. Well,
shout out to Coach Walker, man. Great videos he doing. Yeah. Coach Walker's doing some work out there. Y'all need to take that man's channel. Like, he's doing some straight work.
Absolutely.
Can we say happy belated birthday to Zoe? To Kobe.
Yes, happy belated.
Happy belated.
Shout out to Tomorrow Leader Sports Network, Sharpshooters Podcast in the chat. Hey, that was a great show on quarterbacks. It'll be interesting to see.
Blue's never buy a suite of celebration balls. Listen, bro, listen. Let me tell you what's so fun. Hey, Blue, I'm so confident. I'm going to go ahead and reserve it right now off of Zoe's money. I'm just the credit card I already know is going to get paid.
Oh my gosh.
That man said.
This was one person that we know is all for Zoe's hot take of the SWAC preseason hot take.
Man,
it's Jay White.
Okay. Alabama A&M. Well, I tell you.
So you know that week, that I have to do my picks of the week, right? HBCU picks of the week. And that's going to have to be the hot take. I haven't picked which one. I haven't decided.
Well, we want you to pick Alabama A&M because we know we'll win that by 30. So you can go ahead and Doc, I need you to do your video while we gonna lose too. Doc is a little charm too.
With Coach Maynard barking saying it's conference week, I'm ready to go.
Doc will do a show, because we'll beat Norfolk State, and in some kind of way we won't beat South Carolina State by enough. And Doc say, "See, I tried to tell you guys, the offense is not ready."
You getting beat up by all the dogs. You just getting dogged out there in Tallahassee.
Man, listen, I'm trying to tell you, they just I love it. Look, this is great for us.
Right.
This is great for us. Kick us while we down. We love it.
Oh, so you're admitting you're down?
Yeah, well, that's what y'all saying. That's why I'm like, I'm gonna take it for what it is.
How did you say that?
We gonna lose to Alabama A&M. We ain't got no money in the bank and all this, and got mush mouths cutting us bad checks. It's bad. Can't even hire the basketball coach, boy. We ain't nothing got having a bad down Tallahassee.
I let that one sizzle. I let that one stay up, for a little bit. Let the sting get out of it before I asked Mr. Ford, because I know he was gonna let the clip out on y'all. I let y'all make it because you knew he was gonna let the clip out. All right, well, everybody have a good night. And as Mr. Campbell says, according to him, that all of these bets against FAMU, that, by the way, where's the money going to be at, Mr. Campbell?
The money is in the bank.
This pass is intercepted by Anthony Petty, the senior from Wigan. Get those pom-poms in the air. Mulligan carries to the 28-yard line. Tigers of Jackson State, 1st and 10.